The April 2nd meeting, 2014 meeting of the City Council is here and called to order. The meeting has been properly noticed and posted in compliance with the open meeting law. These proceedings are being video recorded as well as presented live on KCLV Cable Channel 2. They're closed captioned for hearing impaired viewers. Please note customers of CenturyLink may view this program in high definition on Channel 1002, and some customers of Cox Communication who do not have a cable box may view this meeting on digital channel 89.5. Council meeting as well as all other KCLV programming may be viewed on the internet at www.lasvegasnevada.gov. The proceedings will be rebroadcast on KCLV Channel 2 and the web the Wednesday of the meeting at 8 p.m., also on Friday at 4 a.m., Saturday 7 p.m., Sunday at 7 a.m., and the following Monday at 1 p.m. This building is protected by state-of-the-art fire detection and suppression sprinkler system. If alarms should activate during today's meeting, please evacuate using the exits at the back of the chambers out to the mezzanine. Proceed out the double doors to the terrace and down the back staircase. For anyone who has difficulty with stairs, please check with a marshal or fire official for assistance. Once outside, please assemble on the northeast corner across the street from City Hall at Lewis and First Street. Employees wearing safety vests or city marshals will inform you when it is safe to re-enter the building. For public comment related to items on the agenda, citizen participation and public hearing items, we have available a speaker card, which you may complete and submit to the city clerk. Cards are available online, the clerk's office, or at the rear of these chambers. If you do not submit a card, it does not prevent you from speaking under public comment, citizen participation, or specified public hearing items. If anyone is present today who has need for hearing impaired equipment, please see our city clerk staff. If you parked in the parking garage across the street and did not receive a validation ticket as you entered our chambers, please exit to your right and see the security personnel at the entrance. Before we proceed with the agenda, would everyone please rise this morning for the invocation given by Reverend I.N.W. Riddell, the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Las Vegas, and remain standing for the pledge. Thank you.
Good morning, Madam Mayor and council members. Please join me in a moment of prayer and meditation. Spirit of life, source of love and justice, we have gathered here today to do the work of building a fair, just, and equitable path for the community which we represent and which we share. May we step into this work today inspired by hope and fairness, our hearts and ears open. May we remember that we represent the needs and dreams of all members of our rich, diverse community in all of its struggles and all of its thriving. May the words that we speak here be as kind and humble as they are passionate and honest, always steadfastly faithful to the trust and responsibility we have been given by the people of this city. May our actions be grounded in the common purpose of creating a fair, just, and equitable path for this community we share. Please join me now in a moment of silence, humble in the presence of the work before you and the beckoning spirit within. May we be reminded always by that deep love which calls our heart and spirit that we are all inextricably tied each to each into a broad and rich community, and that each word spoken or action taken in this chamber be in service of the health and thriving of that community. In gratitude for the service of those gathered here today, I say, may it always be so. Amen.
We will now proceed with the ceremonial portion of the agenda. You are here. Good morning, everyone. And for our first item, Councilman Beers has the honor of recognizing our Citizen of the Month. Hooray.
Thank you, Your Honor. Did I spy you from up there? Yes. Mr. Duncan, will you come forward, please? Derek Duncan is our Citizen of the Month for Ward 2 this time. Derek was born in Massachusetts in 1976 and came to Southern Nevada with his mother, Catherine, in 1977, so essentially a native. From an early age, Cub Scouts and Boy Scouts taught Derek about community service, and he took it to heart. Graduated from Western High School in 1994 and attended the community college before entering into full-time employment in the lighting industry. Lights like this are what light Derek up. At 22, he joined the Illuminating Engineering Society Las Vegas section and served as vice president from 2009 until 2012, and as an at-large board member still. Derek started his own business, Deco Lights, in 2008, supplying lighting for new construction, remodeling, and retrofit projects. And for 7 years, he's been a member of the United States Green Building Council, Nevada chapter, and has served on the Friends of the Chapter Committee. But it is he and his company's support for many nonprofit organizations around the valley that brought him to our attention. He contributes time, money, and materials to more things than we're probably going to be able to mention. One in particular is the Elks, Las Vegas Lodge 1468, which is a very old, esteemed organization with a rich Las Vegas history. Derek joined the Benevolent and Protective Order of the Elks in 2006, got involved with their many charitable works, such as the Hoop Shoot and the El Dorado Parade, which is a joint City of Las Vegas Elks project and has been for many years. The Elks Club was established in 1923. That means over 90 years of serving Las Vegas. They get together and have fun and parties and put on steak fries and raise money from each other in the community, and then they go out and do good things with it, and it's very cool. In 2009, Derek became an officer of this Las Vegas Elks chapter, and I think this week he's ending his year term as the Exalted Ruler. He is the first black Exalted Ruler of this distinguished organization in the state of Nevada. Derek and his wife Johnny are raising his younger brother Jalal, 16, and stepson Andrew, 11, who are at school. Yes. Not in the audience? CRT testing. Of course, of course. Well, we, the mayor and city council of the city of Las Vegas, proudly proclaim you Citizen of the Month for April 2014. Give us a few words, Derek.
Thank you, Councilman, Mayor, and council persons. I really appreciate this honor. When you set out your life's plans to do great things, you never expect any awards like this to come down, and when they happen, it's just the gravy, right? So I want to thank everyone in the room who came out to support me today, and everyone throughout my life who's played a part in making me who I am today, and thank you to the city for recognizing me and helping our community and supporting the Elks and El Dorado. I give, you guys give back, and we keep reciprocating, so thank you very much.
It's about a full-time job to be the Exalted Ruler, plus your full-time job. So, very intense year for you. I witnessed some of it myself. Thank you for your service. Out front of City Hall, we're going to have a sign, and it'll have your name on it for the next month. What? So, yeah, it's a true story. Yep. And now, if you'd invite your family members down, we'll all take a picture with you in front of it.
Okay. Come on, family. Thank you. You know it well, huh? Well, I used to be surrounded by it. We can change that.
This is exciting. Where's the rest of the family? This is us. This is the whole family. The rest of them are
Thank you very much.
For our next item, I'd like to invite Randy Levine, the Executive Director of the American Institute of Architects, to join us at the podium. And I want to say that Randy is joining us today because April is Art, Architecture, and Design Month. And we are really celebrating. We have seen a huge renaissance in our community the last several years when it comes to public art projects and wonderful, wonderful architecture. From the striking Frank Gehry design Cleveland Clinic, Lou Ruvo Center for Brain Health, to the David Schwartz design team effort for the Smith Center for the Performing Arts, we've really seen some outstanding architecture created in our city. And of course, it's most eclectic because that's who we are. In addition to the artistic vintage neon signage installations on Las Vegas Boulevard, which are taking us to a whole new level of innovation and uniqueness. The Southern Nevada Art and Design Collaborative is a nonprofit organization that was formed last fall to bring community groups together to raise public awareness about art and design. The American Institute of Architects and the City of Las Vegas are among the members of the collaborative, and this group has worked to bring more than a dozen events to Las Vegas to celebrate art and design this month. From art exhibitions right here at City Hall to lectures and high school design awards, there really is something for everyone. To see a full rundown of all those events, please visit www.snadc.org. I'd now like to present Randy with a proclamation recognizing April as Art and Design Month in the City of Las Vegas. Randy, I'd love for you to tell us a little bit about the collaborative as you have planned.
Thank you, Mayor. I am just so honored and pleased to be here today on behalf of the Art and Design Collaborative. This is an organization that is made up of more than 20 groups and organizations here in the city of Las Vegas for the purpose of raising awareness of the importance of art, architecture, and design in our community. And we're all very proud to be a part of the city and very proud of the work that the mayor and the council has done to raise awareness and to beautify and make our city a really first-class world destination. You know, it is the art, architecture, and design that defines a city. And certainly Las Vegas is exemplary in that area. So thank you all very much. I did bring with me today Jean Volturi, who is with the Cultural Affairs Office, City of Las Vegas, and Val Leonard, who is the president of the American Institute of Graphic Arts. So, and in the audience, I think we have some people from the World Market Center who are also involved in our organization. So, on behalf of all of us, thank you so much.
Thank you, and we are so proud of who and what we've become. We have so far to go yet, but that's the fun of being alive in Las Vegas. And so, on behalf of the City Council, I'm not going to read what's in there because I think I said it, but it is declaring Art and Architecture Month here in our great city, and we just congratulate you all. Thank you for everything that you're doing. We are so proud of it, and we look forward to what's coming. Every time I hear Bill Arndt talk about an empty lot somewhere, I'm wondering what we're going to do and what it's going to look like. And I know all of the council, as they look around their neighborhoods, feel the same way. So congratulations. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, Bill. Jorge, thank you especially, too, and your department. Thank you. And for our next item, I have the pleasure of recognizing an outstanding team of city employees. The Action Team Award recognizes teams of employees who strive to be superheroes in the workplace, meeting our values of action, which stands for achievement, creativity, teamwork, integrity, and ownership now. I want to invite our Detention and Enforcement Chief, Michelle Freeman, to join us at the podium for this recognition. I was wondering why we had so many wonderful-looking marshals here today. This is special. Good morning. Morning, Chief. Love to see you here. I know we're doing good things here. The April 2014 Action Team choice is the Deputy City Marshal's Investigative Team. This group of employees took the lead in organizing and creating a community policing program that has led to safety improvements at city facilities benefiting our entire community. The city's 5 criminal investigators split the various city facilities between them, including the community centers, the DSC, and the wastewater treatment plant. They then built relationships with the staff at these facilities, and they were able to make some changes to improve safety for everyone. Some of the areas they took ownership of include wiring repairs for street lighting near buildings, trimming of palm trees that were blocking security cameras, question and answer sessions for seniors and children at community centers, and the installation of a new alarm system at one senior center. In addition, the investigators partnered with the City Rapid Response Team to allow for the use of portable cameras in problem areas. I'd like to invite the team members up, and so please come forward as I call your names. I hope I don't butcher any of them. We have Lieutenant Chris Thompson, Sergeant Mark McCoy, Brian Golden, Colleen Rao, John Arvantius, Wilfredo Lima, and Patrick Patton. You are giving them a round of applause, but I give you a screaming thank you. You are the very, very best. We're so proud. We have certificates that we're going to give to Lieutenant Thompson to hand out after the meeting, but we thank you all for your hard work on a project that truly helped make our city facilities safer for our residents and for our city team members. Chief Freeman, I know you'd like to say something about this great team, and then I understand Lieutenant Thompson has volunteered to speak on behalf of the group. We're so proud, and congratulations for having such a wonderful team. It's yours.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Council. It's a privilege to be up here today with you all to talk about this team. This team has done a phenomenal job. Individually, they do amazing things, and together, it's even more astronomical. Really, they do things that most of us don't know that they do. I think as city employees, we can all say that there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes that we're unsure of what's going on, and we don't ever even know people are doing. With this particular team, it is exemplified to the max. They do things on a daily basis, unbelievable, that no one will ever know. Today, it's amazing that I can sit here and tell you that they're doing things in the community, being proactive, trying to work with the departments, other department heads, other people out there, all the employees, to make it more safe for us to be out there. Talking about building community to make life better, this is it. This is the best example that I can think of. So, quite honestly, I give you all of my heartfelt thank you. Every single one of you guys, every single day. I know there's so much that I don't even know that's going on. Thank you so very much for making such a big difference for the city.
Can we hear from Marshal Thompson?
Thank you, Mayor, Council, Chief. On behalf of the team, we'd just like to say thank you. We're honored to accept this award. We're excited about where this thing is going. We're working in collaboration with all our partners in the community. Big Brother, Metropolitan Police Department. Again, we're not reinventing the wheel. We're just taking something. We had a little void within some of our communities and some of our city facilities. And we're just excited to do something proactive versus reactive
typically we're always showing up in these facilities after the fact, investigating these crimes that have taken place and making contact with victims. In this program, we're able to put on a different hat, if you will, and educate and make areas more safer. So again, we all thank you for the award.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Lieutenant. And here is a certificate of appreciation for every one of you. And just know we really simply do appreciate everything you do every single day of your lives for us who live here and call this home. Thank you. Thank you. And for our next item, Councilwoman Tarkanian, you have something exciting.
I think so. We try to make it exciting. Today we're honoring a very special group of people who volunteer their time, their talents, and tender hearts to the residents of Stella Fleming, a senior citizen center in Ward 1. The dictionary defines a volunteer as one who offers or gives of one's own free will to enter into service for others. And certainly the group we are honoring today reaches the highest level of that definition. Members of the LDS stake led by President Kevin Stallworthy have done just that, not once or twice, but nearly every month at Stella Fleming Senior Citizen Center. And I would like to ask, please, to have Area Authority Elder William Stoddard and come to the podium, along with Las Vegas Highland Hills Stake President Kevin Stallworthy. First Counselor in Stake Presidency Douglas Winter, Relief Society President Alicia Goodenough, and any of the other volunteers who have helped us steadily throughout the months. This volunteer group, you can stand closer in front so more, okay, you're fine there. People can see. I want people to see you as this is televised. Thank you. These are the ladies who help so much too. This volunteer group numbers about 70, and it has prepared and served luncheon on Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day, Flag Day, Thanksgiving, and Christmas, and decorated a holiday tree for Christmas time, all to enrich the lives of the seniors living there. These seniors oftentimes have no one visiting them or no one even thinking of them on those days. And this group thinks of them and thinks of them all the time because they do additional things too. They enrich the lives of the seniors living there by doing other things such as adopting several residents, specific residents who need household items, who need furniture, and who need personal assistance. And it was Marie Castile Couch who introduced us to the group and helped us get started. And I can't tell you how very much we are grateful for having this group work with us and how thrilled the residents at the senior home are. So it gives me great pride and pleasure to thank each one of you for your hard work and your efforts that you put forth to make our senior citizens remembered, to make them feel loved, to make them more comfortable and appreciated. You are an example for all of what can be accomplished when we work together as a community and when we care about each other as a community. And I just want to add here that if you ever have Thanksgiving dinner or one of these others, I go to the homes when they have their dinners. All of this is homemade. The women, they cook the best food. They really do. And all the senior citizens tell me how great it is. And it's just a hard work. They come in. The minute they get there, they start working hard. Children in the family come and help, so they're learning from the modeling that's being set. So I want to tell you that your organization's compassion, volunteerism, and special efforts to improve the quality of life, who once were able to give to us and now deserve our highest honor, our senior citizens, I'm pleased to thank you and to present you with certificates of your merit. Okay. I wanted to give 2 general certificates because I know there are many who are there. If you were at one of these dinners, you'd see how many were involved. So we have the Las Vegas Highland Hills Stake LDS Church being honored. And we have the Relief Society, does all that cooking. And, whoops, I know they are the Relief Society, okay. I know she's doing all the cooking. And also the cleaning up, both of them together. And I also want to give each one of you a certificate of recognition from the Las Vegas City Council. You believe in what we believe, and that's helping others. And we're very, very grateful that all of you are our friends, and you are so caring. Thank you. So there's Mr. Stoddard, and I'm going to give these others out to you. Okay. The 2 ladies have one. And could we have a few words here about what you do?
Well, we're not going to take the credit for it. These the women's organization in our church, the Relief Society, they do all the hard work. So I want to give them an applause again for their hard work. But we got involved because of the Mayor's Faith Initiative. And Maria approached me about getting involved in the Mayor's Faith Initiative, and so we had a lot of helping hands, and so we got involved. We're happy to do it. So for 2013, we had 20 service projects that our stake did, which is about 5,000 people, with 255 donated hours. So we're really happy to be part of the Mayor's Faith Initiative and specifically work with Stella Fleming. So thank you very much.
How about something from the ladies here, the Relief Society that does so much? Let's say a couple.
Just a couple words. Sister Goodnow couldn't be here today. She is our Stake Relief Society president, but I know that it is through her hard work, and it is amazing the generosity of the sisters in our stake, who most of whom have families or jobs and have a lot of things in their lives that take their time and their effort. But anytime a sign-up sheet goes around asking for people to participate at Stella Fleming, women jump at the chance and to be there and to bring their kids. They make Valentine's Day cards for the residents of Stella Fleming, and just we have a great time doing this, so thank you for letting us.
We appreciate it very much. Thank you. Thank you. Did any of you want to say anything? Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Really appreciate all you do. Thank you, ladies, and I love your food.
Nothing like getting together and cooking. It is fun, no matter what it ends up tasting like. I know yours is delicious, but it is fun to cook. So we have next, Councilman Coffin is going to recognize 3 heroes, and I'm not going to give that away. Councilman Coffin, you always have such exciting, interesting things to tell us.
Ward 3 is full of exciting and interesting people, Your Honor. Thank you very much, as are all the wards. Your Honor, thank you very much for this. Today, we honor some people who are here for a special reason, and that is reaching above and beyond their comfort level in life and exerting the courage and bravery that rests in all people if they just have the nerve, I suppose, to address their fears and put them behind them. I have done my best. Eki quod potui. That's Latin for I have done my best. And that phrase is on this bronze medallion, which Ward 3 and the City Council are proud to present to people who exert bravery and honor way above the call of duty, whether civilian, military, or in our public service community. This morning, I'm here to recognize 4 individuals for their heroism and their valor. Fire Chief Willie McDonald, are you here, Chief? Please come and join us at the podium. Jeff Pangburn, Wendy Grant, Stephen Parker, come join us at the podium. I know Greg Brannon is not here today. He's in South Carolina having treatment. Arnie Stock, who is the inspiration behind Veterans Village, I want you to come up too. Come in close, folks. How are you? Good. All right, everybody. Here's your moment in the limelight. We're going to make you famous. You know, February 27th this year at 9 o'clock in the morning was pretty lively in my neighborhood. Veterans Village is just around the corner from my home on 5th Place. Veterans Village is the former Econo Lodge, where an irony and is its own reward sometimes, because here we have veterans living in a community which is resurrected from the bones of the Econo Lodge, where just 14 years ago, actually 13 years ago, 7 plotters to assassinate 3,000 people in the city of New York made plans. Yes, in this very town, right under our noses. And now we've recaptured the high ground. We've got people who deserve to be on that holy ground, and they have made it so. On February 26th, just before 9 a.m., Greg Brannon noticed smoke coming from an upstairs apartment at Veterans Village. Greg Brannon and Jeff Pangburn, they are Veterans Village employees, ran to the second floor from apartment to apartment, trying to find the exact location of the smoke and attempting to see if anyone was inside any of the apartments. Greg and Jeff reached the apartment that was on fire. Greg opened the door, and lots of dark smoke came right in their faces. Quickly and without hesitation, and the way this reads, without fear or worry, I don't think so. I think there was fear and worry. They conquered their fear and worry and went inside, regardless of their own health. Greg and Jeff ran into the apartment and observed an unconscious man. Employees of the village, Wendy and Stephen Park, quickly entered the apartment using fire extinguishers, right following the guys, and used a total of 12 to try to hold the fire back before our units could arrive. Wendy and Stephen's efforts gave Greg and Jeff enough time to carry outside of the burning apartment this unconscious man. Las Vegas Fire and Rescue responded and were able to put out the fire within 5 minutes of arriving. The victim was rushed to University Medical Center burn unit with burns to both legs, as well as smoke inhalation. And I think that not much needs to be said, except that if you'll think about it. But now Chief McDonald has something to say about what he observed. And I have to say, Tim Sosmansky is not here today. Well, Tim, he was. Anyway, Tim, thank you. Thank you very much for notifying us about this. Tim recognized this was an extraordinary event and called our office that same day. Chief McDonald, let's have a few words from you, sir.
Thank you, Councilmember Coffin and members of the council. Our number one service that we provide as Las Vegas Fire and Rescue is response time. And we try to locate our fire stations such that we can get to a burning fire prior to a condition known as flashover. Flashover is what happens when all of the contents in the room start to burn at the same time. And it's very unsafe for our firefighters to work in those conditions. No one can live there. And temperatures get over 1,000 degrees, which is why the property damage is so great. We try to get there before that happens, but in this case, the detection time didn't allow for us to do that. And so had it not been for the actions of these 3 folks, I am sure that the person inside would have died. And so he owes that to you. We want to thank you. It really helped us be able to provide a very high level of service, and we appreciate the efforts that you made. And I agree, probably had a lot of fear going through your body at that time, but your actions were more than we could have asked for, and we very much thank you for that.
Thank you, Jeff. Chief, that's so wonderful. I would like, Arnie, I want you to receive this on behalf of, is it Greg, who is not here now? Greg Brannon, I'd very much like to give this to you, Arnie, in order that you might transmit it to him. It's heavy. It's a bronze medallion that the Ward 3 office has created for our residents who measure up to this. You're very welcome. Jeff, you have done your best. And Jeff, we'd like to present you with this medallion in honor of your efforts.
Thank you.
Very welcome. Thank you, Mary. Wendy, on behalf of the city and Ward 3, we'd very much like to thank you for that, for doing your best. Thank you. Stephen Parker. Come on up, Stephen. Stephen, thank you very much for what you did. I know the man owes you his life, but I think at the same time, we owe all our lives to people like you. Thank you for being such a good neighbor. Now, anybody would like to say a few words? I know that the 3 of you are probably not wordy people. You're action people. Arnie, want to speak for the group? Okay.
Thank you, Councilman Coffin. And just have a few brief words. First, thank you, Mayor and Council, for this opportunity to thank these three heroes in our community. I'd like to thank the fire department, the paramedics, Metro Police, all who responded immediately, set up their everything on site. It was an amazing thing. And then code enforcement and building and safety came out that day, who we work with regularly in our business lives and our everyday life. But the city is in incredible shape to respond, and we saw that firsthand. I was sitting in the office with Greg Brannon, and he said to me, look up there, and there was smoke coming out of the unit. And being a Marine, he ran right in without hesitancy. So the first one in was a Marine, and it was a very emotional thing to watch. And I sat downstairs and just videoed it and photographed it. And these incredible people who work tirelessly with the rest of our staff at Veterans Village do not make good wages. We pay them what we can, and they're there all the time. And the important thing to note is that we serve hundreds of people each week out of our lobby at Veterans Village because we're open 24/7. Our operation never stopped. We never stopped. We had people in the lobby, and it was just an amazing thing. But I just wanted to thank the city again. And for those of you who have never seen our city in action, that was a beautiful experience to watch. The individual's mom and his sister, the resident that was injured, came to visit us and thank us. And he's recovering now. He was in UMC for quite a while, but he's recovering from extensive burns. And we hope to have him back with us soon. So on behalf of these, you all want to say anything? You sure? Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you, Councilman Coffin.
Thank you, Arnie, and thanks to all you silent heroes. And be sure to give our regards to Greg and give him the words of the council, please, Arnie. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. And Arnie, if you would share with our viewers and those who are here today, if in fact they want to help at Veterans Village, how do they do that?
Thank you very much. Thank you. They can donate online at www.vvlv.org or call direct at 624-5792. And we appreciate everything you always do for us, Mayor, and the council. Thank you.
Thank you. We're so pleased, proud of you. It's just absolutely incredible. Did you want to? Oh, a photo, yes. Council, can we cluster around these heroes, please? Or have the heroes cluster among us? Let's hide your knees for now. Can you? Thank you. Thank you again. You are our heroes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, I'd love to have you come forward, please. And do a little pirouette up here so everybody can see. Every year now since I've been mayor, I love this day, this particular day, because Councilman Ross, does anybody look better in a skirt than this man?
Scott Carter does.
Well, and I can't quite see his knees. It used to be a little bit shorter. There they are. So anyway, for our final item, this wonderful man and Councilman Ross from Ward 6, it's your day.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, everybody, for sticking around. Before I get started, I think we've got a little entertainment scheduled. Do you hear him coming? Wow. Andy Fusco and the Desert Sky Pipe and Drum Band. Give them another great big round of applause. Andy, are you done for a moment? Okay. Today it is my honor to recognize National Tartan Day. This date was chosen to commemorate the signing of the Declaration of Arbroath on April 6, 1320. Our own Declaration of Independence was based on this document. Americans of Scottish descent have played a vibrant and influential role in the development of the United States. National Tartan Day was first officially observed in 1998 by the passage of United States Senate Resolution 155. Today, over 11 million Americans claim Scottish, Irish roots, making them the 8th largest ethnic group in the United States. I would like to take this opportunity to honor the many invaluable contributions, accomplishments, and cultural traditions of the members of the Celtic community in Las Vegas. And with that, I'd like to invite Brian Towers from the Las Vegas Celtic Society, please come on down. Sharon Chandler from the St. Andrews Society. Sharon, come stand next to me if you would, please. Tim Dowd from the Scottish American Military Society, Post 7777. Come on down. And of course, Andy Fusco and his group, the Desert Sky Pipes and Drums. And actually, anyone who's wearing a kilt, come down here. Come on down here. Because this is impressive. Scott, come on down. You guys look great. And those of you that want to wear a kilt, you can come down here too. And I think, Mayor, it's too bad Chief Freeman left already, because I think I wanted to request an official executive request to our officers in the city of Las Vegas that they wear tactical kilts for the month of April while they're on duty in the city of Las Vegas. I don't know how well that'd go over in the jail, but anyway, with that, Sharon, where are you, girl? Come on over here. I want you to speak first.
Thank you, Councilman. Thank you, Mayor and Council, for this fine proclamation. It is a great pleasure to represent Scotland. As you see my tartan, that represents Clan MacNaughton. That's on my great-grandfather's side. On my great-grandmother's side, it's Clan Lamont. Wow. So I am proud to represent Scots here with St. Andrews Society of Southern Nevada. We are a group cultural and educational. We bring programs into schools. We support the games and many other organizations, especially Desert Sky, the SAMs. We're proud Scots. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for all you do for our community. Give her a round of applause, please. And I get spoiled because I get to do this once a year and with you guys all the time. So I'm really spoiled because of that. But there's also an absolutely fabulous event coming up. I'd like Brian Towers from the Las Vegas Celtic Society to talk about that for a minute. Brian?
Sure. Thanks, Councilman, Mayor, Council. My name is Brian Towers. I'm the president of the Las Vegas Celtic Society. And every year in April, we put on a cultural event, which has really grown quite a bit, and it's quite fantastic if you haven't been, out at historic Floyd Lamb Park, which is now a city park at Dooley Springs. It's a wonderful event. There's plenty of bagpipes, good food, good people, plenty of events for children. It's full of entertainment. I mean, everywhere you look, there's something going on that will capture your eye. Men, large, heavy guys throwing telephone poles and women throwing hay bales. I mean, they're Scottish people throwing everything under the sun out there. It's something to see, really. And then we have a great drum major competition as well, which is really fun to watch. So with that said, the dates are April 12th and 13th out at Floyd Lamb Park. This is our 10th year. And also on Friday the 11th and Saturday the 12th, we have a party on Fremont Street out on the First Street stage in front of the Golden Nugget, which is something to see as well. So thanks for the opportunity.
Thanks, Brian. And also out by the front doors, you come in or walk out, are these flyers for the event, April 12th and 13th. It's an absolutely fabulous opportunity. Even if you're not of Irish or a Celtic descent, it's still awesome to go out there because we are a country of many people, and we all came from somewhere. So I want to point that out. Tim, you want to come up here? Where'd Tim Dowd go? Tim, come over here. Tim, I want you to talk about the Scottish American Military Society.
Thank you, Council. Thank you, Mayor. for having us up here. Scottish Military Society is a veterans organization founded after the Patriots of King Hill, North Carolina. We are the only veterans organization that allows Commonwealth soldiers, sailors to serve while they're living in the United States to participate. Our main function right now is we serve the veterans home and the cemetery. We have a flag team, and we're still trying to put back a pipe and drums. But the Desert Sky, they assist us on a lot of events. So that's where.
Thank you, Tim. And there's also some of these flyers out on the outside, too, also for the Scottish Military Society and all the things that they do. Now, I've got some great proclamations here for your amazing groups. Ryan, that's for you. Sharon, that's for you. Tim, that's for you. And Andy, you're going to have to get yours on the way out because you got to play on the way out. So I'll give that to Brian. Again, give them a great big round of applause. Head out to the Highland Games. Ladies and gentlemen, Andy Fusco from the Desert Sky and the Desert Sky Pipe and Drums. Thanks, guys. Thank you guys very much. Thank you, Sharon. Take care. We'll see you out there. Now, Mayor, I've got one more item. Yes, ma'am.
Where are the young people in training? On the bagpipes. Do they? Are there classes?
Oh, yes. Absolutely. There's dance classes, there's drum classes, there's pipe classes. That's your house? Western. Again. All right. No, there's a lot of, and these games are amazing, folks. If you haven't seen this, these games are tremendous because you got little kids coming and participating and competing against each other, from the dancers to the drums to the pipes. And then, like Brian talked about, the great big dudes like Scott Carter throwing cabers and heavy balls and all those sort of things. But it's pretty cool.
And I hope some women are throwing some men.
I think that's how it usually starts, and it usually ends up. Now, the moment you've all been waiting for, Mayor and council members. Faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive. Able to leap tall buildings in a single bound, it's Councilman Bob Coffin.
Okay, here we go. No, here we go. Ah! Ha, ha!
What'd you think about that? What'd you think about that? I'll explain it. I'll hand the microphone to Councilman Coffin with the mayor's permission. Every year, the Las Vegas Area Council of Boy Scouts puts on an event called Jump for Scouting. We raise money for inner-city scout units. The scout units in wards 1, 3, and 5, Commissioner Weekly's district, some over in North Las Vegas. So this is a great scouting program, and I just had to highlight Superman. I mean, he made the event so special for me. There are now 2 council members, and this is my challenge to the rest of the council. And notice that Councilman Barlow's absent. I challenge you all to jump off the stratosphere next year for Jump for Scouting and raise money. Councilman, thank you so much for participating in that event. I know you want to say a few words. Yes, you do. I wanted to know, what were you thinking? Because you were so brave. You were so much more brave than I was. So I'm just so proud of you.
You should have seen how scared I was. I don't like heights, and so it doesn't hit you, but I think everybody should do that before the thrill of it. But you have to trust in the staff at the Stratosphere and the Tower ride, and you have to just kind of let yourself go, so to speak, because that's not a bungee jump. This is free. It's free fall, and then they slow you down, so you're only going about 50 miles an hour after you fall free for a while. But you could be going 100 by the time you hit the ground, so I consider that to be better. Anyway, just for scouts, though, this was what it was all about. You couldn't get me to do it for me, for recreation, but $1 a foot for the scouts, it was worth it. And so, thanks to you for doing all this for the scouts. You sleep and eat scouts, and that's really good. Keep up the good work. And I've got to say one thing. When I committed to do this jump about a month ago, I never thought to ask any other council members, particularly, if they were going to do this. I had maybe Councilman Ross asked other people, but I don't think anybody did. So I looked at the list of jumpers about a week before the event, and I did not see Councilman Ross's name on it. And I said, Steve, I gave you some money 2 years ago to jump, and why aren't you doing it now? Because I've already committed to jump. And he says, I would never do that again. So you're really bad advertising. It's a lot of fun. It's not about me, though, Scouts.
Yes, thank you, Councilman. Give him another round of applause. It's about Boy Scouts. It's about serving this community. Thank you, Mayor, very much.
I always knew he was a bit off-center, but now I really know it. Are you working on Councilman Barlow? They always say never be absent. Can we commit Councilman Barlow? He's a young man.
Should we commit him?
I hope you're watching a rerun, Councilman Barlow. That means never leave before it's time. You never know what's going to happen.
Thank you, Mayor.
So work on him. Okay. Thank you all. We'll proceed right on with our council meeting. Piece of paper. Got that.
Okay, everybody, I need your support here. Councilman Barlow says he's ready to jump off the Stratosphere.
Oh, boy. I already jumped last night in my dream.
Okay. So, okay, public comment during this portion of the agenda must be limited to matters on the agenda for action. Oh, wonderful, thank you. The amount of time any single speaker is allowed may be limited. All comments made will be cross-referenced to those specific items. If anyone submitted a speaker card or who wishes to speak under this portion of the agenda, please come to the podium, state your name for the record. We'll set the time at 1 minute. We'll move on to agenda item 12. Business items for possible action. Any items that the council staff and/or applicant wish to be stricken, tabled, withdrawn, or held in abeyance to a future meeting may be brought forward and acted upon at this time. Councilman Anthony.
Thank you, Mayor. Items 49, 50, and 51. Variance 50841, variance 50842, SDR 50840, applicant V&V Tack and Feed, owner Mary Bartzis LLC, on 1 acre at the northwest corner of Rancho Drive and Michael Way. Staff has asked those three items be obeyed till April 16, 2014. And item number 54, EOT 52982, applicant owner RA Southwest Land Company LLC on 23.4 acres at the southeast corner of Alta Drive and Rampart Boulevard. The applicant has asked that item be obeyed till May 21st, 2014, and that is my motion.
Thank you. There's a motion. Please vote on the motion and please post. That motion carries. We'll move on to agenda item 13. Items 13 through 30, I didn't hear any exceptions, on the consent agenda are considered to be routine, are recommended for approval by the departments, and may be enacted in one motion. Are there any items the council wishes brought forward? Hearing none, may I have a motion on these?
Mayor, I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda items 13 through 30.
Thank you very much. There's a motion. Please cast your vote and please post. And that motion carries. We'll move on to agenda item 31. Discussion for possible action regarding an estimated allocation of $4,624 $4,624,463 fiscal year 2014-2015 Community Development Block Grant CDBG funds to the City of Las Vegas by the Department of Housing and Urban Development HUD. This is in reference to all wards. And good morning.
Good morning. Could I go ahead and have items 32 and 33 read at the same time?
Okay, 32 and 33?
Yes.
Okay. Discussion, this is agenda item 32, discussion for possible action regarding an estimated allocation of $1,133,597 fiscal year 2014-2015 housing opportunities for persons with AIDS, HOPWA grant funds to the City of Las Vegas by the Department of Housing and Urban Development, HUD all wards. And agenda item 33, discussion for possible action regarding an estimated allocation of $363,397 in fiscal year 2014-2015 emergency solutions grants, ESG funds to the City of Las Vegas by the Department of Housing and Urban Development, HUD, and this is in reference to all wards.
Right. Good morning, Mayor and City Council.
Morning.
Steve Harston, Director of Parks, Rec, and Neighborhood Services. I have with me today Roxanne McCoy, who is the chair, and Audrey Alselin, who is the chair of the CDRB board this year. The CDRB consists of 13 citizens appointed by the Mayor and Council, charged with developing recommendations to the City Council on the allocation of federal funds to our local nonprofit public service providers. Each board member dedicated over 24 hours each, collectively over 300 hours combined, to review applications, hear presentations, and have open deliberations. 43 applications were evaluated based on project merit and relationship to community needs, and the overall funding request exceeded the availability of funding by a ratio of 2 to 1. This year there was a slight increase in actual funding we got from the feds, and so what I've done is I've submitted an update to the City Clerk's Office. The information we provided to you in the briefing is the current allocation that is being recommended by the CDRB, so all the records match up. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Roxanne and Audrey to give you their recommendations.
Good morning, Mayor and Council. My name is Roxanne McCoy, and I served as the chair of the Community Development Recommending Board. Before we go into the awards, we wanted to echo the importance of these grants to our community. The $25 million in leveraged funds these programs generate is quite impressive. As a board, we ask agencies every year to look at other funding sources to provide a better balanced budget in addition to forming partnerships and alliances. And as you can see, they listened. The city is limited by federal regulations by allocating only 15% of the community development block grant funds to public service projects. The hardest grant for the community is CDBG Public Service. With so much need in our community, we cannot fund every agency and only partially funded 29 awardees. The board reviewed 34 CDBG public service applications from local nonprofit agencies requesting a total of $1,878,226. Agencies were informed that the council priorities for this upcoming fiscal year were homeless outreach and prevention, youth programs focusing on academic skills and early childhood development, special needs populations, and seniors. In keeping with your priorities, the 34 CDBG public service applications, the board recommended funding for 10 homeless programs, 4 senior programs, 3 special needs programs, and 12 youth programs in the amount of $693,669. Now I'd like to introduce you to Audrey Aslin, this year's co-chair, to summarize the remaining recommendations.
Thank you.
Good morning, Mayor and City Council. Audrey Aslin, co-chair of the Community Development Recommending Board. The board reviewed 4 applications for the Emergency Solutions grant funding, requesting a total of $433,066. The board recommended funding for 3 of the ESG applications in a total amount of $336,143. This funding will provide services to address the needs of the homeless persons with emergency shelter, rapid rehousing, rental assistance, and homeless prevention services. For the HOPWA program, the city is designated recipient of housing opportunities for persons with AIDS HOPWA funds for all of Clark County, Nevada. The board reviewed 5 HOPWA applications requesting a total of $1,298,912. The board recommended funding for all 5 of the HOPWA applications in the total amount of $1,099,590. This funding will provide services to address the needs of persons affected by HIV/AIDS, including rental assistance, permanent affordable housing, case management, and emergency services. At this time, I would like to ask, as I speak their name, the other board members to stand. A.J. Powell, Daryl Ewan, Devender Pappas, Carmen LaShawn Miller, Mike Aker, Pam Hartley, Rodney Jordan, and Tom McGrath.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your invaluable commitment to helping. Thank you.
I would like to thank the staff, Director Stephen Harson, Deputy Director Lisa Morris Hibbler, Manager Brian Knudsen, Sean Bolster, CDRB Coordinator, and Tara Ulmer. And I also wanted to just give a special thank you to Sean, because this is a difficult process for us, and she makes it pretty seamless. And then this year we had the opportunity to have Tara participate with us and explain a lot of the things in the grant application process that we didn't understand a little better. So I want to applaud them and thank them for their assistance for us.
We thank them also.
At this time, we will address any questions you might have regarding our recommendations.
What was the increase from the year prior, please, Mr. Arson?
Collectively, it was about 350,000. CDBG alone was 187,000.
And how is that achieved?
We can consider it a gift. We're not, the HUD is always doing different formulas. In years past, it's been a decrease. So we're very excited to see there was an actual increase this year.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes, Councilman Barlow?
I would like to know from the board members, what is it that interests you all to participate in projects like this on behalf of the city of Las Vegas?
For me, I just feel like it's a way that I can give back without, you know, a lot of, I guess, I'm in a small group, it's intimate. It also makes me feel like I'm giving something back to the community as far as the homeless and some of the people that are in need. I sometimes feel like I don't know where to start to help. And for me, this is where I can start.
As for me, myself, I echo her sentiments. It is a way to get back, give back, but also it gives us an opportunity to understand a lot of the programs that are taking place within our community and how they're impacting the lives of the citizens of our community. And so it gives me an opportunity to be grassroots, hands-on, and participate in helping making some of those projects come to fruition.
And finally, what would you recommend or suggest to those who are in the same position that you all are in, looking to give back? What would you recommend to those out there that are stuck on the fence as far as whether they should or should not?
One of the things that I guess I've learned is start getting involved in your community. And I guess that's go up and meet your councilman. And that's one of the things I hadn't done I've lived here most of my life, and I've been focused on me and my career, my children. And at some point in your life, you feel like you need to participate and to be a part of the community. And you don't know where to start. And I think getting to meet you guys and getting to know you guys is the beginning. And then maybe take a ride once you learn where the programs are and where some of these people who donate their life to helping the homeless and some of the people in need actually go out and volunteer. And that's kind of my next step, is how much time do I have to actually not just be a part of this for a few hours a year, but can I give 4 hours a week, or can I give to kind of make that commitment? And that's my next step. So that's kind of my advice. Just get involved, just do it.
For me, mine is just the opposite. I'm very familiar with my councilman and my friend, as well as several other councilmen, and I get the opportunity firsthand to see the work that they're doing within the Las Vegas community firsthand and the difference it makes in the lives of their constituents. So it helped me want to say, what am I doing to make a difference? And so with that being said, it's like put your money where your mouth is, just get out there and do it. And so that's what I do.
Wonderful. And for our viewers, I would tell you there is not a day that goes by that there isn't something each one of you can do. So find out what your passion is, whether it's health services or different types of organizations. United Way has a wonderful website, and certainly we here at the city can connect you too. So do be in touch with your council person, but know that we need you, because as the federal government cuts back on most donations, contributions to different parts of our city and the welfare of our community, we rely more and more on the volunteer effort. So thank you both. This is great, and thank you to the board, many of whom have been doing this for some time. So we're very, very grateful, Mr. Harson, too. This is great. It's just wonderful to be able to give away. I just hope the pot continues to grow. And Dr. Morris Hibbler, thank you wherever you are. Are you in here? No, wherever you are. There you are. Thank you very much. Dr. Hibbler changes her hairdo every week, so I never know what I'm looking for. Thank you, and thank your whole team. Thank you very, very much, and we will take these one at a time. So let's start with agenda item 31. Can we have a motion, please?
Thank you, Mayor. I'll make a motion to follow the board's recommendation for approval.
Okay, there's a motion. Please vote and please post. Motion carries. And on to agenda item 32, please.
Make a motion to follow staff's recommendation for approval.
Thank you. The motion, again, please vote on the motion and please post. And finally, that carries. Agenda item 33.
Item number 33, I will make a motion to follow staff's recommendation for approval.
Thank you. There's a final motion here. Please cast your vote and please post. That motion also carries. Thank you very, very much. Thanks. Agenda item 34, abeyance item, discussion for possible action to review the suitability of applicant, consider conditions to approve an extension of a temporary tavern limited license, 506 Fremont Street, on Park on Fremont LLC, DBA Park on Fremont, Commonwealth Partnership, Ward 3, Councilman Coffin. Is the applicant or representative present? Coming. We'll wait for you. It's okay. And so while you're walking, we will have a report from Ms. Duddleston. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. For the record, Karen Duddleston, Business Licensing Manager. Your Honor, if I might address item 34 and 35, we have the same recommendation and the same ownership. May I address them together?
Please do. Let me read that second one
Thank you.
then, too, since you're going to read them together. Agenda item 35, abeyance item, discussion for possible action to review the suitability of applicant, consider conditions to approve or deny a temporary tavern limited license, plus 2 bars, 525 Fremont Street, 6th and Free, LLC, DBA, Commonwealth Partnership, Ward 3, also with Councilman Coffin. And the representative is also here on this.
Thank you, Your Honor. Again, for the record, Karen Duddleston, Business Licensing Manager. Before you today is a issue of suitability. In your confidential books, you received a report from Metro on suitability of one and only one of the applicants for these 2 licenses. I have met extensively with the owners and their representatives and would make the following recommendation to you today. First, that you approve both item 34 and 35 with the following conditions. This is a tavern limited license, therefore it may not be sold or transferred. It is not an asset license. So that's condition number 1. And number 2. 3, suitability for operation of this license is approved for the following persons: Justin Winiger, Michael Parkers, and Kenna Warren. The waiver of suitability approval requested by Pasquale Rotella pursuant to Las Vegas Municipal Code 6.06.130 is ratified by the City Council, and such waiver expires at 12:01 a.m. on April 2nd, 2015. Number 5, this liquor license is time limited and shall expire at 12:01 a.m. on April 2nd, 2015. A new license must be approved by the City Council and issued by the city prior to 12:01 a.m. on April 2nd, 2015, in order for the licensee to continue selling alcoholic beverages at the subject establishments. For Mr. Rotella to be considered by the City Council as a principal of this license after the expiration of his suitability waiver period, Mr. Rotella must receive suitability approved by the City Council or divest himself of the license, of his interest in the license, prior to the City Council on any action on this license before April 2nd of 2015. And that would be our recommendation on both items.
Pardon again?
I'm sorry, that would be our recommendation on both item 34 and on 35.
Thank you. And if you'd introduce yourself, and then if you agree to these stipulations, please.
David Brown, 520 South 4th Street. We do agree with the stipulations and would ask you to follow the recommendation.
Comments, question, any, council? Hearing none. Councilman Coffin, please.
Thank you, Mayor. The staff has made a good recommendation in view of the fact that these are 2 good clubs and they're right at the heart of East Fremont. And the people that I know who are affiliated with these clubs are good people. They seem to be, they present well, they have done their very best to run an honest business. And so we certainly do not want to damage their futures by their association with somebody about whom there are some questions. So the gentleman and mentioned, I'm not sure that his name was mentioned in the record in any event, I won't unless it's part of the record, has to stay out of these properties, has to have nothing to do with them. Do we understand that correct?
I believe he can be a patron, but he has no management control whatsoever, doesn't participate in the operation of them in any way.
Well, I don't really even want to see him on Fremont Street, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Because I've been following this story in the Los Angeles press, and I don't like what I see. And yet, it could all turn out for the best, and that perhaps someone tried to extort him instead of the other way around. That can happen. So that he'll have the benefit of. But these are privileged licenses. These are things that we take seriously. And while there is no gambling or gaming in these businesses now, there might conceivably be an application for that kind of thing in the future, in which case the investigative system would be a good deal even more stringent than ours, believe me. It's come up. No, I don't want Mr. Rotella in the clubs because I don't want him to be there, because his mere presence would exert some sort of authority, and we would prefer to see the men and women running this now to be standing on their own. So. Thank you, Your Honor. With that, I would move for approval first on item 34, subject to the terms and conditions as agreed upon and outlined in staff report.
Thank you. There's a motion on agenda item 34. Please cast your vote and please post. That motion carries. And now on agenda item 35. Oh,
Could I please be
Councilman
marked
Beers,
in
please
favor?
add
Could I please be marked in favor?
And Councilman Coffin on agenda item 35, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. I will make the same motion for approval for the one-year license. And again, subject to the conditions as outlined by our staff in agreement here with the representative of the owners and with the understanding that the one gentleman not be on the property for that year. That is agreed upon.
Yes.
It is great. Okay. Thank you very much.
There's a motion. Please vote and please post. Motion also carries. Thank you very much, Mr.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. I had some question on 36. I thought it was withdrawn, but I'm not hearing anything, so let me just read it. It's agenda item 36, abeyance item, discussion for possible action regarding an appeal of a work card denial for Tracy S. Rowe, DB, at Speedy Mart, 6703 West Alexander Road. This is in Ward 4 with Councilman Anthony. And is the appellant or representative present? Okay. Ms. Duddleston.
Your Honor, for the record, Karen Duddleston, Business Licensing Manager. Mr. Rowe is no longer employed at Speedy Mart, number one, and number two, a work card is no longer required by the City Council for this position, so we would ask that it be withdrawn at this time.
Okay, I'll make a motion to withdraw this item. Right?
Thank you.
Huh? Strike it? Okay, I'll make a motion to strike it.
Do we have to vote on that? Isn't it just stricken? Need to vote on it? All right, there's a motion to strike on 36. Please cast your vote and please post. Thank you. That motion carries. Agenda item 37, abeyance item, discussion for possible action regarding an appeal of a work card denial for Robert Jason Smith, DB, at Bangor Brewery, 450 Fremont Street, Suite 135, Ward 5, Councilman Barlow. Is the appellant or a representative present for him? Yes, coming forward. So let's go ahead, if you would, Ms. Duddleston.
Thank you, Your Honor. Again, for the record, Karen Duddleston, Business Licensing Manager. The applicant has received his Metro report, has shared that with his employer. His employer has signed the required affidavit of support and is supporting this candidate, understands the issues. We would recommend a site-specific work card for 1 year with an administrative review at that time.
Thank you. Do you wish to make any comments?
No.
And please introduce yourself, please.
Robert Jason Smith.
Thank you. And with you is?
Edward Kyoge.
Okay, thank you. Councilman Barlow?
I'll go ahead and follow staff's recommendation with the site-specific for 1 year review.
Okay. There's a motion. Please vote and please post. And motion carries. Good luck to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Council.
for
Thank
coming.
you very much.
Thank you. Okay, agenda item 38, Boards and Commission for possible action, Building and Safety Enterprise Fund Advisory Committee. Candace Falder, term expiration 5/17/2014. The procedure for appointment to this board is that the City Council ratify the recommendation of the City Manager. Ms. Fretwell recommends the appointment of Annetta Appleyard, the current Finance Director, to the seat, and that will be my motion. So there's a motion, please vote, and please post. Yes.
Could we just go back so I could ask a question on 25? I don't want to re-vote, I just want to ask a question.
Thank you, that motion carries. And Councilwoman Tarkanian has asked, just for clarification, to go back to agenda item 25. In the consent agenda, she wanted to ask a question. So please.
Yes, I wanted to ask a question. In the $400,000 that's involved to provide rental assistance, this is not involving building anything or constructing or improving buildings. This is just to find places where people can rent. That was the question. Thank you.
And the city manager shakes her head and says yes. Thank you. Okay, we will now go on to recommending. Agenda item 39, recommending committee bill eligible for adoption at this meeting, bill number 2014-14. Councilman Barlow, would you like the bill read?
Yes, Mayor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Please.
Thank you, Councilman. Bill number 2014-14, First Amendment, an ordinance to continue to authorize on a temporary basis the waiver of an origination charge for new urban lounge licenses and to authorize a partial waiver of the origination charge for new tavern limited licenses to be located in the downtown entertainment overlay district of the Arts District and to provide for other related matters.
Thank you.
Mayor, prior to my move on this item, I'm not sure if Mayor Pro Tem wanted to comment on this item because I know that he had some concerns as it relates to this item in recommending. So I'm not sure if you want to chime in at this point, Councilman.
Well, actually, thank you, Councilman Barlow. Can we just clarify, I know you read that really fast, and we had a pretty good discussion yesterday, and I had ended up voting no, and Councilman Barlow and Coffin voted yes. So can you just explain for everyone what we're voting on before we vote? Thank you.
Yes, members of council, Val Steed. The bill originally would have extended for another year the ability to get fees waived, origination fees waived for urban lounges within the Arts District, and a partial waiver of up to 50% for new tavern limited operations within the downtown entertainment overlay district, but not the Arts District. It was learned that the intent was to have that be available also for tavern limiteds within the Arts District. So at the recommending committee meeting on Monday, the committee recommended approval of adding the Arts District back in as a location for partial waivers for tavern limited operations, so that a new tavern limited operation can qualify for 50% waiver whether it's located in the downtown entertainment overlay district or the Arts District. And based on the vote of the committee, there was also a change recommended to extend the waiver period for new tavern limited operations within the Arts District to 2 years, but to leave at 1 year the extension of the waiver period for tavern limited operations within the downtown entertainment overlay district. So I passed out the First Amendment along with an explanation of those changes to the members of the council before the meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Steed. And Mayor Pro Tem, would you like to take the floor and explain why your vote was as it was?
Thank you, Mayor. We actually had a pretty good discussion yesterday at recommending between the three of us, and my feeling was that I wanted to continue these waivers a little bit longer, at least another year, because I think there's a lot of momentum happening on East Fremont Street, a lot of momentum happening in the Arts District, just in downtown in general, and I didn't want to put something in place that would effectively bring back part of the license that may stop somebody from opening up a business downtown. I know it's $10,000, but for some 1 or 2 people that want to open a business, that could be quite a bit of money. So my feeling was, let's extend it at least another year, all the waivers, and we can kind of see what happens within the next year and kind of go from there. So that's why I ended up voting no, and that's why I'll end up voting no again today.
Okay, thank you. So therefore, we will vote on the motion as presented by Councilman Barlow. Did you want to say something? Okay, I'm too. And comments from Councilman Barlow and Councilman Coffin on the other side, if you'd like to comment, and then make a motion.
Thank you, Mayor. Mayor, as we all very well know, that when we started down this road in regards to redeveloping the entertainment district, the goal was to light a fire, in which we did. And there's a lot of activity and synergy that has taken place in the East Fremont Entertainment District. And once again, I have to put my good friend Scott Adams on the record for a wonderful job with bringing this idea to the council many years ago. And as you see it today, there's thousands of people that are integrated and connected in and around the downtown due to what has transpired on East Fremont. And with that, we have attracted a lot of big property owners on the South Strip and those that are looking to come into the downtown now and set up their clubs in our downtown, which is a great thing. And I believe that the ultimate goal was to light East Fremont on fire, which it is on fire, and literally, being that we have spitting praying mantis at the container park, spitting fire out onto the roadway, which is really cool. We are now in a position where we can start to taper back a bit, and we're still extending the waiver, but only at 50% in the entertainment district and completely in the 18B corridor of the arts district. And so that was our rationale for now directing and redirecting, I should say, our attention to the arts district so that we can also get it going the same way in which we move the East Fremont Entertainment District forward. And we have to transition out at some point, because what we can't afford to do is allow for big companies who can afford to come in at 100% to basically provide them with a great tax advantage when in fact they can pay the whole amount. And I believe that we have enough synergy and energy, economic development moving forward, that now the entertainment district can organically grow through the private sector moving forward. I don't believe that we need to give them 100% of what we've started. I believe we can now refocus our time and attention to 18B to get it going so that we can basically utilize those monies that we're offering in order to attract more businesses to come in and do exactly what the East Entertainment District has done. And so we're not eliminating it completely. We've just basically reduced it to 50% of what it was previous years as we continue to back out of it as we move forward. So I believe the private sector has a great opportunity to come in now and allow the natural market to take its course to basically take us on into the future as it relates to the East Fremont District, while we now refocus and retool for 18B to do the same thing on the south side of downtown. And that was my rationale as to why I voted in the affirmative to redirect our city's funds, because just like all of the funds that we have, whether it be CDBG, CDRB, there's a lot of things that we can do as long as we continue to recalibrate how, in fact, we best use our monies, which are, slim and none to a great extent, but just making sure that we give all sections of our downtown an opportunity to be vibrant and grow. And so with that, I'll be making a motion after everyone speaks as to why I believe we should be moving in this direction. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilman Barlow. Councilman Coffin.
Thank you, ma'am. Well, I agree with my chairman's assessment of the situation, and yes, we did vote together. And like the Mayor Pro Tem said, we had an excellent discussion yesterday in committee. It went on a long time. I think we covered all the bases, and so everybody voted their conscience. I am very proud to be representing that area now in the council, but I wasn't on the council when this program was approved 4 years ago. 3 members of the council are and were then on this, and they took a great leap forward to subsidize business. That's not often that you see that happen. And so for a subsidy of business to then work, serve its purpose, and be withdrawn, I think is an appropriate thing. Now, the city manager's office brought this forward. with the data that showed that $1 million roughly had been waived in fees over a period of time. That's a lot of money. It does not mean that somehow the city lost money, because a lot of these licenses might not have been granted if it had not been for the subsidy. So really, would they have come? You won't know, but I think a lot of them did because of it. And now, it wasn't unanimous in the neighborhood there that we should remove this. I received a letter from the association there saying that some of the members did not want to see it go away. So I made inquiries about it and found, and this was before we had our first meeting on this bill, and some felt that the reason they objected was because they felt that there was some sort of message being sent to the community that if we did not continue to subsidize these new businesses, and then we continued on the arts district, that the focus of the city council would be on the arts district or in Ward 3's specific lens, and that's far from the truth. We're very proud of FEED, and we intend to keep FEED going strong. We're going to devote a lot of resources there. So these license fees, while they were not extremely high, did serve as a good incentive. But I'll have to tell you that not everybody's making money down there. You know, it's like people think it's gold, and it isn't always gold. And what I would hate to see is someone jump into business just based upon the fact that they could get a little deal from the government, because you know, that $10,000 or $20,000 is a far cry from what it costs to operate a bar and get started. Inevitably, the costs are much greater than you think. And so there could be people that jumped in based on this program and that maybe shouldn't have. But for their benefit, we continue to try to promote East Fremont, and we will always continue to promote East Fremont. We're very proud of it, and it's growing. So from that standpoint, it's very healthy, and it's time to end that program. And I'm very grateful again to the council members who put it in place 4 years ago. And I do not know what the temper of the council was at that time, Mayor. You know, it may have been that it was temporary in their minds, but I don't know exactly. I kind of think that it would not have been permanent in their minds. So for that reason, I'm certainly going to support the action of the committee. Thank you very much.
Thank you. You know, it's very interesting because we work so hard to encourage small businesses to come downtown, downtown. And knowing that, thank you, Tony Shea and Zappos, for really being the energizer to take over East Fremont. I continue to look further east on Fremont and see the decay still there. And so I have some questions. I'm very concerned that we continue the thrust in the Arts District and certainly down Main Street. And try to invigorize, if that is not a word, energize and invigorate. I put them together. So I'm wondering if we might ask, Mr. Steed, could you explain, I'm wondering, in the Arts District, a partial waiver, why not continuing on to 100% of the origination charges with these successful areas, but we need so much help? And then down at the bottom of what you've given us, it says, extends the waiver period for new tavern limited operations within the Arts District for 2 years, leaving the waiver period for 1 year, new tavern limited operations in the downtown district overlay. So if that's put back in place, and this were, if we're trying to energize these new businesses, would that, was there specifics to the 50%? And why the 50%?
Mayor, maybe staff should take a shot at this, because we worked with Councilman Coffin on this, as was indicated in some of the earlier discussion. We went back and reevaluated. This waiver has been in place and reapproved each year for the last 4 years.
Right.
If I remember correctly, we waived over $1 million in fees.
Yeah.
We've had incredible success.
Yeah.
When you look at the entertainment district, which is a very small 6 or so blocks, right now it's defined, it's almost completely built out. I'm not saying that this benefit may not be beneficial over time for new businesses that may locate there, but we felt like at a staff level it's run its course. And so when we briefed council, we actually recommended not extending the waiver at all. But then after reconsidering that, we recommended to Councilman Coffin that maybe we step it out and go to the 50% because there may be a few people that are working their way through the system that we didn't want to inadvertently stop the works for them, but send the message that, hey, we're working towards phasing this incentive out. The other piece of that puzzle, and we may want Mr. Adams to address this in a little more detail, is that throughout the downtown, you've authorized and directed us, you've authorized the funding and directed us to put together a downtown plan. Last year, you adopted an economic development strategy for the city. So the downtown plan is the operational side of that economic development strategy for the core of our city. We think there probably need to be different incentives in place as a result of that work. So that's the key piece of the puzzle for the entertainment district. For the arts district, it's still a bit in its infancy. I wasn't at the recommending committee to be privy to that direct conversation, but I think we all know that there's still work to be done there. The issue there is that the arts district has not taken as great an advantage of this incentive over the last few years that they've had it available to them. And so the idea was to give them a little more time to be able to take advantage of that tool to see if it works for them. But that would also be something that we would evaluate in recrafting incentives going forward. If we make these incentives longer lasting, meaning more available, we will not have the funding in place to be able to create the new incentives. So this is sort of a stepped-in process of phasing out over a planned period of time, which I believe Councilman Ross told me in briefings. Give them a definitive time. I believe Councilman Barlow may have said something similar. So that these businesses can plan, that they can get their applications in the door in enough time to take advantage of this program before we roll out the new one. Well, we can't roll out the new one until we have the infrastructure done, the planning work that we're working with the Downtown Alliance on, for instance, over the course of the next few months. So this bill actually works really well for keeping going what may work as a tool for both districts at a more modest pace, particularly in Fremont East, hopefully continuing to incentivize growth in the Arts District while we retool the incentive program and bring it back to the council. And that includes not just these kinds of incentives, but you've directed us to reevaluate Quick Start and VIP. So we've got all of that work underway right now. So that's why staff is in support of this bill, so that we can start to move to the next page. And so I don't know if that helps inform the council's decision today, but I thought I should put that on the record.
And what would the origination fee be then in the Arts District? Please, Ms. Duddleston. For a new business coming in there.
For a new business, under the proposal that's before you today, for an urban lounge license, the origination fee is $50,000. It would be zero under the proposal that you have before you. For a tavern limited license, it is origination fee of $20,000. And I believe in the Arts District, is it half? No. Half, so it would be $10,000.
Is that clear down there? Are we all agreeing that's what it is? Yes, I'm asking.
And the way it's written, it would be half for both districts for the Tavern Limited.
The Tavern Limited license, Your Honor, I'm sorry, for the record, Karen Duddleston, Business Licensing Manager. For the record, the Tavern Limited license over the last 2 years, that's been expanded in its original form at $20,000 to the entire downtown Centennial Plan area. It's becoming our most popular license in the downtown area. So we have a lot of other businesses moving in, and their request is for that Tavern Limited license, and they are paying the origination fee.
Yes, Councilwoman.
I believe that when you use public funds to help private businesses get started, that you have to be very careful that they don't go on endlessly and become a crutch for the private business. And I believe that we have done an excellent job in the city, in the Fremont East, and getting it started and getting it going. And I also believe that your suggestion of not doing it all at once, but then moving partially and then moving into something else is very important. You're not leaving them there with nothing. You're leaving them there with 50% still available of the waiver, correct? So I think that's extremely important that we then use the funds, because we have limited funds, to help another area. And that area is the Arts District right now. For whatever reason, it hasn't been able to come along as well, and remain with the 100% waiver there, and then work hard and encourage that so it can meet where Fremont East is now. So we have the 100% waiver, just going down to 50%, that's all, where we've been very successful, and there isn't very much more you can, places there, is according to what you said, right? And utilize that to concentrate on the 100% in the Arts District. I think that's key. And then my hope is that eventually we will be so good in downtown that it will spread over the borders into Ward 1. Thank you.
Well, Mayor, if I may, just real quick.
Thank you, Councilman
Just final thoughts
Barlow, and did you
before
down here to the right?
I turn it over to
Yes, okay.
Councilman Coffin, because I understand that he has some comments as well, but.
This will be brief, yeah. Back to you.
Just real briefly. I think one of the beautiful things, Mayor, is the fact that East Fremont has just taken off. I mean, it's doing a wonderful job as it relates to the economic development that has really, spawned throughout the entire area. And Councilwoman Tarkanian is absolutely correct, and Betsy could not have put it any better, and that is we're not leaving East Fremont with nothing. And with the 50%, one additional year, as we step out of the incentive, which is the waiver, I believe what it does is it actually puts the city and downtown in a better position, because for those that are interested in being downtown, they have two options. They have an option of really moving forward their efforts to be in East Fremont, or they have an opportunity to really take advantage of a 100% waiver of starting something completely new in the 18B Arts District area at 100%. And so when you look at it from that perspective, I think we're putting our tax dollars in the best position possible to really activate and synergize various areas of our downtown that we're really looking forward to get up and moving. And so with that, I just wanted to just leave you with those final thoughts.
Thank you very much, Councilman Barlow. Councilman Ross has some comments, please.
I do, Mayor, and I appreciate Ms. Fretwell jarring my memory in regards to this item. I feel compelled to side with Councilman Anthony in regards to let this thing ride a little longer for 12 more months to see what's going on. But again, Ms. Fretwell reminding me of my comments during briefings and my deep conversations with staff about the economic impacts of what we've done and what we continue to do, and then the history of our goals in the downtown core that I've been part of for many years, as with Councilwoman Tarkanian. It's kind of like this horse. We rode this horse, and it's time to get on another one and kind of evaluate where we've been and where we need to go. So with that, I'm going to support staff's recommendation, even though I feel compelled to side with Councilman Anthony, because we've got to be that business-friendly city. We've got to say, hey, businesses, come to downtown, come to Las Vegas, and we've done it, and it's successful. Ms. Duddleston flat out said, one of the most popular licenses we have is the Limited Tavern, and people are paying the fees. Am I correct, Ms. Duddleston? I mean, so that's pretty significant that, people now, we don't need that incentive package. And we got to start weaning the baby off the bottle, so to speak, in my opinion. So I just want to put my comments on the record. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
Thanks, Your
I
Honor.
know Councilman Coffin wanted to add.
Thank you, Mayor. Just something I forgot to say earlier. The honorable thing, the interesting thing is that people in the downtown area were actually not, they weren't all unanimous on the idea, but they did not adopt the position, let's say, of pulling up the ladder after they got theirs. Those who received were as much in favor of continuing it on as anybody. So we really, that's why this caused a pause in the proceedings, because this bill was introduced a couple of months ago. So I looked around for what might happen. We brought it to a hearing a month ago, and no one showed up to oppose the bill. And so I thought maybe there was a mistake and they missed the posting. and so on. So I deferred it for a month, and so we had our hearing yesterday on the continuation, or was it Monday? Anyway, days have changed. The point is, again, no one showed up to oppose the bill. It's recognized by the people in that area that it has to come to an end. And so for that reason, I think they're okay. And it's my word, and I kind of feel like I know who doesn't like it and who does. And, you know, we'll continue to meet and talk about it.
Okay, my comments are, I think it's a little premature to be doing this. We haven't got our feet under us solidly. I'd like to see us consider it again in a year. I think we're very fragile, but I understand staff and where it's coming from, and it would be with great reluctance. I probably will go ahead and vote with it, but I think it's way premature. I don't think we're solid downtown, and I'd like to see the status quo remain for another year, but it's just an opinion. I really think that Fremont East is a fragile place. There's been a lot of demolition. There's a lot of refurbishing of old facilities, and to see the grandness beyond Container Park of something new, I think we're still in the business of attracting business, and I'd like to see us wait for one more year. But following staff who's the feet on the ground all the time and making the recommendation, again, I think we're still very fragile down here, and we need to be doing as much as we can to attract new business and give them the benefits of what we've already learned is highly successful. So I'm going to defer for one last comment to the Mayor Pro Tem to see if he can give me something else that I can be thinking of at this point.
Well, I just think there are a lot of things that can still happen downtown, and I think continuing the waiver will send a message to people that we want them to continue to look at downtown and open up a business downtown. And I guess it's kind of a message thing. If we start increasing the license, then the message is everything's great downtown and everything's things are going well. I think we still have a little bit of momentum left. So I would just like to wait another year and see what happens as far as businesses requesting a license and opening up businesses downtown, and see what happens then. So that's just my comments.
Thank you. So there's a motion by Councilman Barlow.
Yes, Mayor. And as I prepare to make my motion on bill number 2014-14, I would like to say that we're not giving up on downtown. What we're doing is we're hedging our bets in downtown as it relates to the opportunity of the Arts District being able to be a vibrant community. And the city manager stated it best that, it has not taken fire the way in which the East Fremont District has taken fire. And so for that, we're just basically adjusting our position financially to get things going in another section of downtown, which is vitally important to the overall success of the downtown as a whole. And keep in mind also, Mayor and Council, is that we're not giving up on downtown. What we're really doing is we're extending the opportunity for an additional year in the Entertainment District, 2 years in 18B. And a year from now, if in fact we notice a true dynamic change in East Fremont, we still have an opportunity as a council, depending on where our budget is, to basically move back in and open it back up to 100%. So, just bringing it down to 50%, it will give us an opportunity to really gauge for the next 12 months as to whether or not this is something that we should continue to back out of, or actually put more incentives into, being that there has been some changes to the negative versus the positive. And so with that, I believe that we're in a very unique position, being that today, or I should say this past weekend, I saw well over 3,000 people moving around the downtown community in one block. And I mean, there was a lot of people moving around, which was very exciting, something that I haven't seen since I was a kid, playing when Fremont was a two-way street. And so I believe that we're making the right decision and really hedging our bet on how to improve other segments of the downtown community to make sure that it's vibrant in all sections. So with that, I'm going to move
Could I ask one question before the rest of that comes out?
Yes, ma'am.
Please.
Yes.
Councilman Coffin, both the Fremont East Entertainment District and the Arts District, I believe, are in your ward. So people who currently, and I'm sure you're talking with regularity to UD, what's the feeling out there? I mean, it's your ward, and this will maybe bring something back and not cause it to go forward. What are you hearing and what do you think? And should we let it ride, or you really are, go ahead, let's put some controls on this now?
Well, Mayor, I can answer that in some ways by the absence of people opposing it. Remember, it was scheduled in February or early March. No one showed up to oppose it. Again, I thought that might be a mistake in posting, or they didn't know, but they knew. And then, so we scheduled it again for this week, and no one showed up to oppose. And it shows you there's really no fever to keep it going. It's just that some people were nervous that somehow or another they thought it would be read in their community as slighting the feed and favoring the 18B. So, but these are groundless fears, Your Honor. The evidence is in the money we spend downtown. These are one-shot fees, and they're not very big fees that are paid one time. This is not an annual fee. That could be a significant number if it was, but in fact, it's not. And so, while there might be a division of opinion, I think that most people just don't care. They just want to do their business and move on, and they know that we're going to be supportive. So there's no angst. Yes, there are some people who might think but it's not the majority. And hey, anytime you get used to something, it's hard to take it away. And I feel like this is not really a takeaway from anybody. They're not going to lose anything. And anybody that's got an application in the pipeline will be treated as if the whole thing was there, the whole waiver. Then new apps come in, and it's 50% after that, and so on down the line.
So as these applications come in, I think it would really be interesting what the feedback is, obviously, as they find out the increase, which obviously they'll say, but why, and all that, but that we have some record kept, which I'm sure you can respond to later on, of what that feedback becomes.
Yeah.
So,
Thank
okay,
you.
I'm
And thank you for
sorry,
asking
thank
me.
you. Thank you, and Councilman Barlow, now please finish
I'll
your motion.
Move for approval, First Amendment, Mayor, to Bill number 2014-14. That would be my motion at this time.
Go ahead with it. There's a motion, please vote, and please post. Be consistent with what you did. That motion carries. Thank you very much. Okay, we'll move on to agenda item 40. Bill number 2014-16. Councilman Barlow, would you like to have the bill read?
Yes, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilman. Bill 2014-16, an ordinance to extend the boundaries of the city, to particularly describe land be annexed to make it subject to the laws and obligations of the benefits of the city and provide for other related matters.
Move for approval.
Thank you. There's a motion to approve. Please vote. Please post. Any growth is good. And that motion carries. Move on to agenda item 41. Bill number 2014-18. Councilman Barlow, would you like to have the bill read?
Yes, Mayor.
Thank you,
Please.
Councilman. Bill number 2014-18, an ordinance to adopt an updated Symphony Park Design Standards Manual and provide for other related matters.
Move for approval.
Thank you. There's a motion. Please vote and please post. Motion carries. Question on number 42 as we go into it. I'll wait for the bill to be read, but I do have one before you move. Bill number 2014-19. Councilman Barlow, would you like the bill read?
Yes, Mayor.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Bill number 2014-19, an ordinance to amend the downtown Centennial Plan to authorize indoor garden supply plant nursery uses within the Arts District and provide for other related matters.
My question is, going forward with the fever that's out there of new types of plants that we're looking into growing, does that become part of this automatically with this bill?
Madam Mayor, Flynn Fagg with the Department of
Hello.
Planning. I'll respond to that. The answer is no. This land use category is for garden supply and plant nurseries Medical marijuana facilities would be a separate use in our use table, and you would not be able to do medical marijuana under a garden supply or plant nursery.
And knowing how sometimes ambivalent a word can be as interpreted by the law, lawyers, and judges, I'm wondering if, in fact, what's written in the ordinance is very clear in this, what its purpose is.
There is a very...
The word only put in or something else?
There is a very clear definition in state law as to what a medical marijuana establishment is. It is not what this is. And so, no, there is no confusion.
Okay, thank you very much. Councilman, please go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Are you recognizing me, Your Honor?
Yes,
Okay.
please, Councilman Coffin.
Although I see Councilman Barlow wants to speak on the subject.
Okay.
You welcome. Oh, okay. Okay, well, but before we have a motion on this, I do want to say one thing, that it is not marijuana. And it shows the difficulty of making changes in plans when you have decided to make a thing like an arts district. You define what's in it, but then you have to, every time you need to change something, or you want to add something worthy, you have to come back for an amendment, a text amendment. It's kind of complicated because you're actually listing what can be in as opposed to zoning in such a fashion that anything that meets a general category is going to automatically be in, subject to approval. So this is an example of what can happen. Now this, in my definition, this falls into the culinary arts. This is a plan, and I think that the petitioner, Mr. Wright, I'd like him to come forward to the podium and show us what it is that he grows, what it is that he does. It's not funny little plants that make you feel crazy. It's foods that make your dish look good and taste good. In the city of Las Vegas, we have a lot of fine dining, but many of our produce items are grown outside of the city limits or in areas where it takes transportation to get them. There is a demand for unusual things, the small vegetables and other herbs and the condiments, the things that dress up a plate and make a dinner not only appetizing but visually appealing. So Mr. Kalani Wright brought this proposal to us. We vetted it, we looked at it to make sure it didn't have marijuana. Well, that was a wink-wink kind of thing because, you know, I thought there was going to be a back door of some kind. Surely not, after checking with staff and legal staff. So Mr. Wright, show us what it is that you do and what it is you plan to do. Did you bring any of your product with you?
I have, yes.
Well, then put it in the place. Oh, thank you for helping, Ms. Murphy. You could help him on this.
Yes. Good morning, Mayor and Council. My name is Terry Murphy. Back in December, a good friend of mine approached me and said, can you help my son-in-law? He's trying to open a microgreens store in the Arts District, and he's running into some obstacles. So I said, sure. I don't know if anybody noticed, but when I sat down an hour ago behind Mr. Wright, I ate a bunch of that stuff. And so here I am, perfectly normal, or as normal as typical.
As you could be.
And it's
You
just
failed
very...
to notice your left eye is drooping.
That's normal.
What? Oh my God.
So these are microgreens. Mr. Wright grows beets and corn and all kinds of things that the nutrients are very concentrated in the greens. And so this particular use has not been allowed in the Arts District. It's not been specifically defined. So in order for him to open the store, which he's been paying rent on and so forth all this time, we had to go through this amendment process in order to allow it. I have spoken with Mark Abelman and some other folks in the Arts District. They are thrilled to have Kalani there and to have this business. And why don't you explain a little bit about what happens once you grow these microgreens and where they go?
We package them up and we deliver them same day to restaurants downtown. We bike them in, zero carbon footprint to the downtown area. And everything upstrip we deliver with the distribution partnership. And we have a lot of chef relationships and support. I'm very excited to pursue this.
Do you participate in the farmers market downtown, around town as well? Have a booth or?
I don't have a booth, but I'm there often. I know a lot of local farmers. I spend a lot of time at Gilcrease. I'm a farmer trying to provide locally grown food for our city. So
Terry, please help him display his produce.
Yes, absolutely.
Time's a waste in here. We
And we
want
could
to,
leave this here for you all, actually.
well, for the cameras, it needs to be over
Oh,
here,
Where, over here?
I think.
I think it's on.
Is it on
Oh,
camera?
here it is, right here.
Oh,
This is
thank you.
a beet. This is cilantro. These are edible flowers. There's over 42 edible flowers. Every microgreen, it packs 20 to 40 times higher nutritional value. So you add any of this, there's mustard that you can add in sandwiches that now adds a high nutritional value content. Every chef uses these, no matter what culture of food, these can be applied to any plate.
And on the center of your screen there shows the operation. They're grown in small trays. As you can see, they're not tall plants.
On average, it's 10 to 14 days from plant to pick.
Wonderful, looks great. Yeah, it really is. Councilman Beers?
Thank you, Your Honor. Did you say that it was 4 or 5 months you've been paying rent, waiting for the city to give you permission to grow these things?
Yes, that's correct.
It's because the Centennial Plan had to be revised in order to allow this particular use. So staff is right now working on modifying the Centennial Plan so that it's more of a form-based code, so that the particular thing that you're going to sell inside your shop is not necessarily relevant to whether it's retail or what have you. In the existing Centennial Plan, especially in the 18B Las Vegas Arts District, when they prepared it, actually the community wanted very specific uses that they wanted to allow. They didn't want, for example, auto repair and industrial uses. And so because of that, we had to go through this process. It's not, it's an unusual thing that Mr. Wright is doing. It's not done in the city today. So I think the staff is working.
So it should be prohibited.
It should, yes, but the staff is working on a permanent solution to this kind of issue as new types of businesses come in, and everybody's kind of working with them on that.
This is, I'm glad we're working on it. I'm just ashamed and embarrassed.
Well,
We should just put up no small business signs allowed. I can't believe it.
Well, that's what happens, Your Honor, through you to Councilman Beers. It's just that when you design an area and you think that you have to name the exact things that are in it, you do create a real problem for yourself down the line, because you can't possibly define everything that might be in the arts. Or something else, or somebody in an office thinks, well, that's not an art, so there you go. It gets bureaucratic, and it's better to go form-based, and I think our
we
staff
have
is going to brief us on that.
We have recent historical precedent for the success of central planning of economies just within our lifetimes. It didn't end well.
Yeah. Well, here we are. I don't know if anybody else has any questions. Ms. Murphy, I
No,
want to
I
thank you
think
for your
we're clear.
pro bono efforts.
Please make a motion.
I move now for the passage of Bill number 2014-19.
Thank you. There's a motion. Motion? There it is. Please cast your vote and please post. Better hope we see you down at Farmers Market. I mean, that's a place all the time.
You will.
Wonderful.
Come and visit me in my space, please.
Yes, if I can find your space. Does it have a number or a name?
It's 4 East Charleston.
Oh, that space.
Right on
Okay.
the heart of the arts district.
Wonderful.
Would you guys like to try these?
we'll leave them over here with that.
It's vegetables.
It is good for us.
They're good.
Thank you, and I'm sure all the restaurants would love it. And fix her drooping eye. Okay, moving on to agenda item 43. Items 43 to 46, bills number 2014-20, 2014-23 will be heard at recommending committee meeting on April 14th, 2014. Please read the new bills.
I'll be happy to, Your Honor. Bill number 2014-20, an ordinance to extend the boundaries of the city, particularly describe the land to be annexed to make this habit subject to the laws, obligations, and benefits of the city and project-related matters. Bill 2014-21, an ordinance to amend the Unified Development Code to provide that mixed-use development is allowed in the C PB zoning district by means of special use permit and provide for other related matters. Bill 2014-22, in order to prohibit auto repair facilities from using residential streets and for the test driving of customer vehicles, except under specified circumstances, and to provide for other related matters. And finally, Bill number 2014-23, in order to amend LVMC 6.50.285 to provide that the owner of an establishment adjacent to a pedestrian mall that is licensed to conduct non-restricted gaming and is authorized to sell alcoholic beverages pursuant to a tavern license may operate up to 2 bars upon the adjacent pedestrian mall under specified circumstances and provide for other related matters.
Thank you very much. These new bills, 2014-20, 2014-23, are signed to council members Barlow, Anthony, and Coffin. Thank you very much. And so we will move on to agenda item 47, public hearing on local improvement district for special improvement district number 1485, Alta Drive, Rancho, to approximately 275 feet west, Lacey Lane, landscape maintenance, FY 2015. Councilwoman Lois Tarkanian. This is a public hearing which I declare open. Mr. Well, good. Where are you? There you are. Hi, Mr. Bowers. Good morning.
Thank you, Mayor. Good morning, and good morning, council members. My name is David Bowers. I'm city engineer for City of Las Vegas. And with me today is Dan Muirhead, our SID manager. Item number 47 is a public hearing for the annual assessment of Special Improvement District number 1485. This SID will cover the cost to maintain landscaping for the upcoming fiscal year and is made up of 37 parcels that border the Alta Drive between Rancho to just west of Lacey Lane. The assessment will remain the same as last year at $75,800. A public meeting was held on March 25th, and no complaints were received at the meeting or by the city's clerk office prior to this meeting.
Was this not under an SID?
Yes, it is.
And it remains so?
Yes. I believe that the capital improvement, initial capital improvement SID is closed and complete, and then the current SID is just for the maintenance of those improvements.
Okay. Thank you. Councilwoman.
I wanted to thank staff for making this such an easy job. I think not having to raise the cost for the residents helped. We attended the meeting and nobody came to the meeting to give an aye or an A. And usually that's a pretty vocal group. So I think that the residents are in agreement that this is a fair means of going. And I think they're very pleased with the people you have now that are doing the gardening and the working. I have been told that some of the plants that died will be replaced, and I'm assuming that's correct, right? So I can continue to tell residents that. So move to approve, and thank you very much.
Thank you. No motion on this? Public hearing open. Nobody, any comments? None? Close public hearing. So we will move on. That's interesting. Okay, that's a first. Agenda item number 48, thank you very much on that one. Public hearing on local improvement district for special improvement district number 1516, Fremont Street Maintenance District, Las Vegas Boulevard to 8th Street. Councilman Bob Coffin, and this public hearing which I declare open. And it's yours again, Mr. Bowers.
Thank you, Mayor. My name is David Bowers, city engineer for City of Las Vegas, again with Dan Muirhead, our SID manager. Item number 48 is a public hearing for the annual assessment of Special Improvement District number 1516. The SID will cover the cost for street and sign maintenance, utilities, promotional events, and marketing for the Fremont East Entertainment District, which is located on Fremont between Las Vegas Boulevard and 8th Street. The SID is made up of 34 parcels in the vicinity that contribute based on their proximity to Fremont Street. The assessment will cover the next fiscal year and will remain the same as the past year at $252,402. Staff attended the Fremont East Board meeting on March 11th, and no complaints were received at the meeting or by the city clerk's office.
Thank you very much. This is a public hearing. Anyone wishing to be heard? Hearing none, I'll close the public hearing. This is no actions required. We'll move on to agenda item 49. Thank you very much. Thank you. Agenda item 49, 50, and 51 have been obeyed till April 16th. So we will move on to agenda items 52 and 53. 52, EOT 52942, request for an extension of time of an approved site development plan review SDR 18638 for a 40-story, 395-unit condominium development with 15,892 square feet of retail space and a 9,050 square foot of office space and waivers, downtown building step back, is it step back or setback? It says step back. Parking structure, step back, and downtown streetscape requirements. And EOT 529, this is number 53, 52945, request for an extension of time of an approved special use permit, SUP 18637, for a proposed mixed-use development. The applicant is Justin Martinez, the owner is Dan Martinez, 1.39 acres at 709-731 Fremont Street. Staff recommends denial. Both items are C2 General Commercial. The item is in Ward 3. With Councilman Coffin as the applicant present, or representatives, please come forward and do state your name. And while you're doing that, I'm going to ask Mr. Fagg, please, to respond as to why staff recommends denial.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Relative to these extension of time applications, the project was originally approved back in 2007. This becomes the fourth request for an extension of time. Based on that, staff is recommending denial.
Thank you very much. And if you'll state your names, please, and proceed.
Justin Martinez, 777 Fremont, and my father, Dan Martinez. Dan Martinez. Thank you. First, I would like to thank Mayor and Council, and especially Councilman Barlow, while we were in his ward, for giving us these extensions of time to get us through what was basically the worst financial crisis since the Great Depression. It got us to the point now that there are doors that have opened for us that we'd like to take advantage of, and we think the market conditions are correct now that we can hopefully finish what we started.
Thank you. Anything you'd like to add to this, sir, please?
Yes, ma'am. This project we got involved with early in the beginning when we looked at the district. We had faith in what was going to be happening there in the entertainment district. We invested heavily in the area. We've not abandoned this project anyway since the inception. We got caught in the economic downturn where the money dried up. We still have a lot of faith in the district. We feel that it's the best use for that property. It's on the end of the district. I think that if we could have another extension while we work through this. We've been very diligent in looking for financing for this project, which has been difficult. We've gone out of the country looking for private funds. The size of the project is pretty aggressive, but economically it's probably the best use for that property, and it will serve the economic returns to the district for that. But we've had a meeting in September with HUD because basically the government is guaranteeing large loans for this area. We had a meeting. HUD was extremely receptive to the project. They'd already done quite a bit of research on the whole area, the redevelopment area. They approved the project, but they wanted us to bring in a high-rise developer that had HUD experience, because they knew that even if we submitted the application then to the San Francisco office, it was going to have to go to Washington for final approval. We're in that process right now, ma'am. We're working with a contractor that has high-rise HUD development. We've got some people that are interested in coming in as equity partners that have the experience in dealing with HUD on this project. So we've not abandoned this. We've never put this property up for sale. The initial our initial goal was never to flip this project or to make economic gain. It was basically to help develop the downtown and especially the entertainment district. This project, the pro forma shows in excess of $8 million of income that will come to the project once it's built. That's both in residential rents and retail rents on the floor and in office rents. And secondly to that is the additional income. That has a tertiary and secondary effect economically on this redevelopment area. We have not done a economic impact or an analysis on that, but I know it would be substantial. What we have done, we've done pro formas, we've done market studies, we've studied the market. I think basically now it's on an upturn. Ogden is 100% leased. Jewel's 100% leased. They've established rents for downtown, and I would hate for this project to be next right now, because basically it would probably set us back additional time to go back through the re-entitlement program. So we'd like to have at least a year.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask you. What are you asking for in this extension?
We'd like for them to give us another year while we work out this, continue to work out. We can file progress reports to the council if you'd like. That's not a problem. Part of our oversight is that we didn't communicate very closely with Councilman Coffin on this thing. We apologize for that, but we have worked closely with the city. Justin's on the redevelopment board downtown. He's committed to the district, and we would just like an additional year to continue with this project.
Thank you very much. Any other comments, questions?
Yes, ma'am.
Councilman Barlow?
Yes, Mayor. Based on my conversations with many developers as it relates to this item, and I asked them, as well as real estate developers and realtors, their thoughts in relation to high-rise development. And each one of them, if they didn't laugh, they stated that, Ricky, there's nothing over 6 stories of high-rise that will go or even come into the downtown based on everything that we're seeing around the valley. We're looking at hotel developments that are having difficult time coming out the ground. And to believe that a 40-story condominium development is going to come out the ground when in fact we have developments currently in our downtown, whether it be the Jewel or the Ogden, who all started off as condominiums, and they've all shifted to apartment leases, and they're trickling back with for sale products, but not at the rate in which it should. I just don't see this actually happening. We've approved a number of 40-story, 30-story, 15-story towers, whether it be at the corner of Main and Bonanza, or on Ogden, or I believe the other one was close to somewhere around Las Vegas Academy. A number of products that we've approved that just didn't go anywhere, and specifically with this being the 4th extension, I can't see supporting this item whatsoever, because I believe that it's not going to happen based on everything that's taking place in our economy today. So as far as my position, I'm not supporting the extension of time. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Coffin.
Thank you, Your Honor. Yeah, yesterday I met Dan for the first time, and Justin and I had met 2 years ago. This is the second time that I have participated in an extension of time on this piece of property. I was still pretty new. I think I'd been in office 6 months along with you, Mayor, in early 2012 when we approved, they made an appeal for a 3rd extension of time, and we granted that for 2 years. In that time, I have not seen any plans. I have not seen any kind of interest in developing that property. Now, I know that to get some rents, not very much rents, but I guess the owners agreed to lease some portions or all of that property temporarily, a half a block, for the Container Village people, the Container Park, Container Village. So there's something on it which we have permitted, because we have permitted a temporary occupancy of these temporary buildings there that they're using in the Learning Village, I guess it is, on their property. Well, that's a business deal between the Martinez's and their neighbors. The thing is, I have done this before. I have opposed a 4th extension of time, and what I did was tell the developers that really And again, I'm not a developer, but I do know when something has been going a long time and things have not really happened. And maybe it's a favor, because I know it was a favor to the people on 10th and Charleston when they came to us for a fourth extension of time on their land to build a high-rise. And I said, I cannot support that. Come back with a better design, something that's more suited to the economic times we are in. And so this council went along with my recommendation to allow a mid-rise with mixed retail and stuff like that. So it was really kind of nice that they appreciated it. They said, thank you, because in essence, we got them off the dime. They've been dreaming about that for a long time. And sometimes you just have to put a pin in the balloon, you know, and say, look, well, maybe this was reaching too far. The fact is that I do not know if anything will happen on a 40-story building, but I don't think anything will. Now, you have said to me that you were going to be willing to modify this some. So I said, if you could show us something that would be concrete, new plans, a new design, maybe something that gets the attention of the financial industry, then we could extend this. But I said to you yesterday that 6 months was as long as I felt was merited on this, 6 months, because that was enough time for you to bring out your proposals, maybe modify it. You have you could continue to sell your 40-story. At the same time, you could also design and bring forward something mid-rise, something along the lines of what Councilman Barlow has told you that he finds supportive. Those kinds of things are important. I think this has been vacant for 8 years. Been a long time, and it's right on our prime boulevard. And I appreciate the fact that you didn't flip it over, but then again, what could you have sold it for? You probably paid more than it's worth today, my guess, until you develop it. So I could go along with a short extension. If you made an appeal for 1 year instead of 6 months, you could do that today, I guess, you know, if it sounds like it's amenable to the rest of the council, but you'd have to perform something. You'd have to produce, as we discussed earlier, and you agreed, to an A and a B approach, Justin. The combination of finding something new while pushing your old to see if you can make it. I don't want to take this entitlement away totally, obviously. I really don't. We want this to happen. You've been good citizens. But we have not seen anything. You know, we haven't heard from you. Nobody knows what you're doing.
You know, 8 years ago when we bought that property, it was the back part of that property. On the front of, on Fremont and 8th Street, there was basically a bunch of retail space that was selling paraphernalia, drugs, whatever it was. There was a motel there. During this process, since we acquired the property, we negotiated and bought that property in the front. Now it will enhance that whole property. It'll add more to the redevelopment. Right now, all you see is a vacant lot, but you don't understand what we went through. We spent over 2.5 years evicting the tenants once we bought the property. We tore it down. Even though there was income coming off the property, we tore it down because it didn't fit with the visions of those people that had created the district in the first place. Yes, you know, the 38 stories, it seems quite aggressive. We've looked at that. We've come to the conclusion that 4 to 5 floors can be eliminated from that by redesigning the floor space there. But we were restricted by our original application for entitlement, is that we couldn't either go up or go down more than 10%. So we were trying to work within those guidelines as well.
Well, all you had to do was ask the council office and observe what we do, Dan, which was work with developers and approve a different plan to make it easy for you. Go ahead.
Well, that was our oversight, Councilman, because we were working with the Office of Redevelopment and Zoning and those areas. But you know, we have not abandoned the project. We have every intention of, if within you know, the economic restraints, to finish it. Any time you allow us would be grateful to that, because we know that we're coming to you asking for an additional time to put all this thing together. We can, if the council is adamant about not giving us anything beyond 6 months, then we will keep everybody abreast, and we'll continue pursuing this project, because I think that in the best interest of the district and ourselves economically, with the amount of money and resources we have tied up in this project, I think that we need to finish it. And now that we have a commitment from HUD based on this project, HUD, we were really surprised when we went to San Francisco. They were extremely knowledgeable of everything that was happening within the redevelopment area. They were familiar with everything. We were just amazed. They liked the project. They felt it was a very doable project, and the only thing that they were concerned about was our lack of high-rise HUD development and our lack of HUD experience. Even though we had HUD experience, not to this degree, we've been very diligently pursuing an equity partner or a HUD developer that has these experiences. We've located a contractor that's big enough to handle this project that has this experience. You know, the problem is that when resources dry up, then you either abandon the project, which we're not about to do, or you try to work with what you have. And that's what we've been doing throughout this whole period of time. We've not been sitting back just waiting for the market to come back. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman.
Okay, Your Honor. I am persuaded by Dan, who, by the way, when they walked into our office yesterday, I thought they were brothers. And it turns out that Dan's the father. So, Martinez of Texas, thank you for coming today. I am persuaded to give you some more time, but 1 year maximum. And I would also ask, I'm going to ask our planning director how that works legally, because this EOT expires October 2nd, the current one. So you did have 6 months, in any event. So want to make sure that we don't have too much complication on this, because do new plans have to be submitted if we give them an EOT, even though they're outside the clock?
Madam Mayor, through you, in response to Councilman Coffin's question, the current entitlement expires in May, and so our action today, if it's to extend it for 12 months, it would be 12 months from today's date. So it would be through April 2nd of 2015 if you wish to do that.
Thank you.
They do not need to submit new plans under this current entitlement. If they are going to reconfigure the project significantly, then yes, they would need to submit new plans.
So if we tell them that they're going to need to produce new plans if they can't make this one work, we'd still be giving them a year to do that, though, wouldn't they?
And actually, they could submit new plans at any point in time.
Okay. So that's why you need a two-track approach. Is that all right with you, Dan and Justin?
Yes, thank you very
1
much.
year?
Thank you.
All right.
We
I
will
wanna
keep you updated.
very much like to have a regular monthly meeting, or more frequently if you can give us some progress. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right, Your Honor, now I will move for a 1 year extension of time on agenda item 52, number 52942.
Thank you. There's a motion on agenda item 52. Please vote and please post. And on agenda, that motion carries. On agenda item number 53, Councilman.
Yes, Your Honor, same motion for item number 53, extension of time 52945, 1 year, subject to the provisions as agreed to by the applicants today, whereby this is the last long entitlement, the last one, and you need to submit plans. And you should be, I'm going to tell you, you should be submitting plans for an alternate build at the same time you're pursuing this one further. All right.
And that's understood as, what is it, midnight of the 1st or midnight on the 2nd, Mr. Fagg?
That would be on April the 2nd.
Okay,
Not April Fool's Day. Thank you, Your Honor.
correct. Thank you. This motion, please vote and please post. This is on 53. And that motion also carries. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Mayor. Thank
Good
you,
luck.
Council.
Okay, agenda item 54 has been obeyed to the 21st of May. Okay. And agenda item 55, I would instruct the city clerk to set the public hearing dates and appeals from the city planning commission meetings and dangerous buildings or nuisance litter abatements. Thank you. Agenda item 56, citizen participation. Public comment during this portion of the agenda must be limited to matters within the jurisdiction of city council. No subject may be acted upon by the city council unless that subject is on the agenda and scheduled for action. If you wish to be heard, please come to the podium, give your name for the record. The amount of discussion on any single subject, as well as the amount of time any single speaker is allowed, may be limited. If there's any member of the public who wishes to speak under this portion of the agenda, please go forward.
Oh, thank you, Mayor. My name is Anthony Hardis. I'm here to say today that I'm very proud of this great city. Over the years, you've done so many great things to make yourself stand out. With things falling apart all around the country, this city is kind of holding the line. That's a great thing. But you've done a lot of great things over the years. Like you said, you sometimes be out there on the web with Google and all that, you know, you get a lot of world exposure, and which you should, you know. But what I also want to say that over the years, things that occurred on your husband's watch, and part of yours too, is that, you know, we created the post office for $1 from the government, turned it to the Mob Museum and whatever. And that, what I'm saying, there's a lot of things that has occurred that the city has been blessed with. But a statement I made many years ago that this same building came into being, I said, and at the time, Mr. Anthony Starbuck was a new councilman. I said that the day would come that you would build a new city hall, and that you should, you know. And here we are. But all I'm saying is, too, I want to mention this. That George Wallace and the black man name was Malcolm X. They both were two extremist people, but they were telling the truth. See, racial hate and discrimination and all this thing will always be with us. George Wallace said segregation today, tomorrow, and forever. I mean, people kicked him for saying it, but he's telling the truth. You can never run away from things that's going to always be with us. If there's two people on this planet, the two of them going to fight each other over something, who need to be in charge or whatever. So as long as there's life on this planet and people is a part of it, then you're going to have the disagreements of people, you know, at each other. It's just a natural order of things. But I also want to say that I think that the city is, and even your police departments and everything here, this state has things that's put it out in a better condition than a lot of places in this country. I mean, Nevada, I mean, the city of San Diego and the county clock or whatever. So I mean, Las Vegas, I mean, I'm all over in California, whatever. But I'm just saying, you do such great things here, and you don't always get the credit for it. But I'm here to give it to you. I think the city of Las Vegas and the Clark County and, you know, this vicinity is doing a great job humanity-wise, you know, especially with this being a destination for tourists, you know, coming in, millions, 40, whatever. It's so to keep all that in perspective and keep all that as best you can. It's good. See, we always talk about the bad things that go. Why don't we give ourselves a little credit for some of the good things that goes on? So what I'm saying, out of all these cities in the United States, the city of Las Vegas, you know, has a pretty good record. You know, should get at least a B. You know, I ain't getting nobody no A's these days, whatever. But anyway, I just want to let you know that I love the city and everybody in it, and I thank you for allowing me to be here and don't run me out of town on the rail, whatever. But it's important that y'all all know you got a great city, and I love you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Seeing no one else, we'll go ahead on to agenda item number. Council member recognition. Comments made by individual city council members during this portion of the agenda will not be acted upon by the city council unless that subject is on the agenda and scheduled for action. We will start this with Councilwoman Tarkanian.
I just wanted to put a big emphasis again on this weekend, April 5th and 6th at Bonanza High School. We are going to have not only the ordinary type of resource medical health fair, but we are also having, for the first time in the state of Nevada, the remote remote area medical clinic, which is a federal group coming into our city and offering with all kinds of certified doctors, dental, vision, all other kinds of health needs will be met. For example, if you have root canal needs, if you have filling needs, you can go there, take your children, and they will do this all free of charge without any ID necessary. I don't know of any other time in the state of Nevada that we've had something like this. I think it's extremely important. So I hope that people will come to Bonanza High School this weekend, 5th and 6th, and I will tell you that those who want the free medical help, if you want your vision checked, if you need glasses, they'll grind the lens that day, give them to you free of charge before you leave. They will be getting in line if we follow what's happened nationally at midnight on Friday night for when we begin work at 6 and 6:30 Saturday morning. So I urge all to come to that. It's the first time we've got it. Please take advantage of it. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilman Barlow.
Thank you, Mayor. This is always a great time for me to talk about what's taking place, not only in Ward 5, but throughout the city of Las Vegas. And on tomorrow, Coffee with the Councilman will be taking place, of course, April 3rd. Please join me for the next Coffee with the Councilman tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Until 10 a.m. for coffee and conversation at Starbucks located at 751 Rancho at Bonanza. And I know that one of my great constituents, Stephanie T., has emailed me and stated that she will be there. So thank you for watching online and paying attention to what's going on here at the City of Las Vegas. In addition to that, on tomorrow as well, I will be hosting my first Google Hangout. So please join me for my Google Hangout tomorrow, April 3rd, live at 11:30. So if you would like to ask me any questions, feel free to log on to my Facebook page and post your question, or just send me an email, and I will answer any question that you may have during my Google Hangout tomorrow at 11:30. It's a video chat on YouTube where I will answer your questions live. So visit my Facebook page at facebook.com/Ricky Y. Barlow for more information on how to participate. So please join me at 11:30 tomorrow. In addition to that, every month, the first Sunday of every month, is the Bluegrass in the Park. The next Bluegrass concert series will be held on Sunday, April 6th from 1 to 3 p.m. Come out and enjoy the music of local bluegrass bands playing traditional American music with banjos, fiddles, guitars, and mandolins. This is a free event for families, so please come out and enjoy. Please visit my website for the full schedule for the remainder of the year. Here in downtown Las Vegas, the Downtown Dynamos. Please join me and the Downtown Las Vegas Dynamos on April 26th from 9 a.m. until 12 noon at the Las Vegas Shakespeare Company, located at 821 North Las Vegas Boulevard, as we look to revitalize the cultural corridor. If you would like to participate or volunteer in this event with myself and the Downtown Dynamos, please visit the website at uwsn.org/dynamos to sign up today if you would like to volunteer to help clean up in the downtown area. Pirate Fest, ladies and gentlemen. Ahoy! The Pirates return to Lorenzi Park for the second annual Pirate Fest. I am personally inviting residents and schools to join me from April 25th through April 27th at this much-anticipated event. The fest will be bigger and better with live entertainment, vendors, pirate games, camel rides, a beer garden, hot air balloon rides, and the new cardboard regatta. It's not just pirates. See the mystical fairy realm and the clockwork kingdom of steampunk. Don't just watch the pirates, be a pirate at Las Vegas' only pirate festival here inside of our regional park, Lorenzi. For more information, please visit piratefestlv.com. That's piratefestlv.com. And of course, on the social media side in Ward 5, you can stay informed with events and matters happening in and around Ward 5 by following me on Twitter and Facebook. If you would like to receive the Ward 5 newsletter, please do so by visiting my website at www.lasvegasnevada.gov/Ward 5 and send your email address to me and my staff, and we would be happy to include you in on the e-newsletter that goes out weekly. Thank you so very much, and we look forward to you all hanging out with me tomorrow at 11:30 during my first Google Chat. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Barlow. Councilman Coffin?
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, I'd like to say thank you and to members of the council for hanging out today for 4 hours. We had some divisive issues, yet we were not divisive in our manner or demeanor, and the kinds of things that we do. When we argue, we do it at such a level as the public, I think, can be assured that what we do is for their good. And that, so, you know, it seems like Ward 3, because it's an old place with a lot of new things happening, has the most controversial issues. And yet, I appreciate, again, as I've always said before, the advice of all my colleagues, because Ward 3, the downtown, all of these features belong to all of us. It's not just simply the province of one person who represents Ward 3. And, Your Honor, again, your fairness with the gavel has always been appreciated, because I've been a minority member of a legislative body at one time for 18 years in a row, and I can tell you that having the ability to speak and to be recognized is a critical thing, and a person with the gavel is in control. And I have never found that you have been unfair, and I know we have been here almost 3 years, and it's been a test for both of us, but I never regret now having decided to serve on the council, at least asking the voters for permission. So if they'll give me another shot at it, I certainly will appreciate trying that again. That was off the script, Your Honor, because I did have some comments to make about what's happening in Ward 3. I want to advance again the free teen shopping days that happen Saturday the 12th at the East Las Vegas Community Center. This is for kids in the teenage years who don't have any money, and they probably have no clothing to speak of. They may be homeless. They may be living with their family in a car, or sharing a home with 10 other people, and they just can't spend money on clothing. But if they can come by East Las Vegas Community Center Saturday, the 12th of April, from 10 in the morning to 2 p.m., there will be things there provided by this great, great movement called Project 150 under Mr. Perdue. I know that board of volunteers has really been able to raise money, and we need to continue to promote it. They're getting donations all over the city for the kids, and we should probably look back at some of the stuff that we might have wore way back in the day, and at least they could have it for retro nights. Also, to repeat again, this is coming up in 2 days. This meeting is April 2nd, so Friday, April 4th, De Mujer a Mujer, which is women to women, again, happening Friday morning. And what this is under the auspices of the Mexican consulate, an opportunity for women of all races to come in and seek advice from each other and network. Women are very good at networking. Men are not very good at it. And women know how to help each other. And this will involve medication, health screenings, the kinds of topics that come up, Dress for Success, the sorts of things that people help each other on, but they don't really want to ask a stranger about. But people who come to these events, and this is the second one, find out that everybody there becomes a friend. So it's worthy. Any member of the council can drop by this Friday and take a look. Thirdly, the Las Vegas Arts District is having its annual meeting in Boulder Plaza, which is our little park down there at Boulder and between Main and First. And it is Wednesday, April 16th at 5 in the afternoon. We'll honor some people. We'll do things that we'll find people who have done something out of the ordinary and give them some applause. But mostly we'll applaud the people who are there in business, who stake their fortunes on renting or buying buildings in the Arts District, and who are really the root of all growth in this part of the city. They are doing wonders down there. Please stop by the annual meeting. There will be refreshments, 5 p.m., Wednesday, April 16th. So I suppose you could say right after the next council meeting, if we're done by 5 p.m., let's go on down there and have a ball with the arts community. And last, Councilman Coffin is presenting Ward 3 movie of the park. Now then, Saturday on 19th of April, it's a little park over at Stewart Place, which is near Marion and Charleston. Stewart Place, we were going to have this movie last year, only the heat killed us. It was 117 degrees at 6 o'clock. We couldn't do it. So we had to kill it and bring it back next year. And I'm particularly proud of this. It's a fun movie. Cowboys and Aliens was a hit at the box office. But young James R. Coffin, my oldest son, and his life partner, Tana, did the lighting on this movie. They're grips in the profession, and they went over and filmed this movie for 3 months in Santa Fe a few years ago. And so I always like to brag about the accomplishments of my kids, and this is one of theirs. And they've done many, but it's just one that I thought maybe they'll show up. We'll have some artifacts from the movie, maybe just some T-shirts, crew T-shirts, to raffle off for free. And maybe, who knows, maybe the lighting director of the movie could come over and tell the kids how he does it. So in any event, Your Honor, thank you. That's the news from Ward 3.
Thank you very much. And Councilman Barlow, you had a remark. We're going to come down to you.
Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to mention to those viewers, as well as city employees who know my good friend and city employee Trina Robinson, her daughter, who worked for the city of Las Vegas as well, Letitia McDaniels. She passed away this week, and I just ask that you all please lift Trina and her family up in prayer. And for those of you that were wondering in regards to the viewing for Letitia will take place on Wednesday, April 9th from 3 to 7 p.m. at the Palm Mortuary at 6701 North Jones. The zip code is 89131, and the services will be held on April 10th at 11 a.m. And for those of you that are that will need the phone number to the Palm location, that number is 464-8460. And I would just like to say that I'm, of course, keeping Trina and her family lifted up in prayer. For those of you that don't know, Trina actually walked me to school when I was in kindergarten every day, practically. And so I'm very close to she and her family, and my heart goes out to them. And so I just wanted to at least let those who are who know Trina to have that information on their family's behalf. Thank you.
Thank you, and I know your comments, prayers, condolences are extended on behalf of the whole city council, and certainly myself and staff.
I just wanted to add, Ricky, I believe the death was lupus.
Yes.
I wanted to say that so seldom is the deadliness of that disease recognized, and so little support seems to be given to it. It's a very difficult illness. It's a very painful illness. And I just wanted to say that she had difficult times, and that those of us who are aware of the lupus situation, all the help we can give, I think, would be very, very important. Thank you.
Thank you. Mayor Pro Tem.
I have nothing.
Councilman Ross.
Thank you, Mayor. It seems like all of us have a lot of great things going on. Councilman Coffin, I got to attend that Shopping for Teens on your behalf last year, and I must say I was in tears. It is fabulous, this Project 150 reaching out to the community, and the whole story of how that got started. First thing coming up in Ward 6 is our annual spring celebration and foster connection, and a little explanation behind this. Every year we put on some type of spring fling, spring celebration. Last year I partnered with Foster Connect with Clark County, and we actually connected 25 families to foster children. It was a fabulous event. We decided to make them just part of the event this year. It is Saturday, April 5th, and I believe the time is going to be noon to 4 at Tule Springs Road, of course, Floydland Park at Tule Springs. It is free to get in the park that day. Of course, amusement rides, farmers market, jump houses, music games. We'll have a petting zoo. We should be able to have some horseback rides, I think, from the Horses for Heroes folks that are now out at Tule Springs. So it's a fabulous celebration. We are encouraging folks to bring something for our foster children in need. Gently used T-shirts, shoes, pajamas, jeans, especially in toddler and young adult sizes, new personal hygiene items, female underwear, shoes and accessories, fake jewelry, gently used graduation caps and gowns, which leads me to my next announcement. The Northwest Youth Empowerment Council applied for a YNAP grant this year and were successful in obtaining funding for that YNAP grant. They are raising money for graduating high school seniors who can't afford caps and gowns. And the way they're doing that is at the spring celebration, and they're going to be running a dunk tank. So I've asked several of the principals and vice principals. In fact, I've got a Northwest Area Command police officer, Steve Hutchison, coming out. I will also be in the dunk tank and I tried to get out of this, trust me, but my youth council is very. We have the dunk tank will be going all day long. Actually, since I'm going to be in the dunk tank. On this announcement, it says 3 p.m. I will be in the seat, Councilman Beers. One throw is $2, 3 throws is $5, 7 throws is $10. The money goes to this great youth project and raising money for graduating high school seniors. And we were working with Clark County School District, Title I. There's over 600 of them. Wow. And when I graduated, and probably many of us on this council graduated here locally, we didn't have to buy our caps and gowns. We just rented them. And now they have to buy them. And it's quite challenging for a student to go through that all through school and then not be able to walk across the aisle to receive his or her diploma because they cannot afford a cap or a gown. So kudos to the Northwest Youth Empowerment Council that both Councilman Beers and I have out in the northwest part of the city of Las Vegas. They're doing a fabulous job. Come out and dunk a councilman at the park at the spring celebration. Also, this morning we already recognized the fabulous Celtic groups in the city of Las Vegas, National Tartan Day. I want to once again remind everybody the Las Vegas Celtic Gathering and Highland Games will be April 12th and 13th out at Floydland Park at Tule Springs. The gates do open at 9. You do have to pay for this, but I must tell you this is a phenomenal experience if you haven't done it. And you don't have to wear a kilt, but you should probably wear clothes when you get out there. But it is a fabulous, awesome opportunity to hear some great bands, to hear some competitions, to watch these fabulous Scottish and Irish and English athletes compete. So I wanted to make another announcement of that. And like Councilman Barlow, I too will be having my first Google Hangout for Ward 6 on Tuesday, April 8th, live at 3:30. And the hashtag is Ross Hangout. And for those of you that don't know what a Hangout is, it is a live video chat that you can watch on YouTube. And if you can't watch it live, we can share the recording afterwards so you can see if I answered your questions. You can also visit my Facebook page for more details at Steve Ross 4LV. This is a great opportunity, golden opportunity. Our city communications staff continues to get us all plumbed up on social media, and that's kind of the direction we're all going. Now, on a more serious note, and all the fun things aside, our continued partnership with Nevada Child Seekers. It's unfortunate we have to do this again, but we are looking for Shanifa Gatlin. She is 15 years old. She's 5'4", 100 pounds. Shanifa was last seen in the area of Pecos and Tropical. Shanifa was last seen wearing, carrying a black bag and a pink JanSport backpack and personal belongings. She does have a piercing in her tongue and a tattoo on her back that's flowers. So if you have any information leading to the whereabouts of this young lady, please contact the North Las Vegas Police Department, 702-633-9111, or Nevada Child Seekers, 702-458-7009. A lot of great things happen in the city of Las Vegas. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you very much. Councilman Beers.
Thank you, Your Honor. It was 47 years ago today that Sergeant Pepper taught the band to play. We decided a little music history for levity. This actually is the date that they finished recording the classic rock and roll album, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. 47 years ago today. On Friday, April 11th, from 7:30 in the morning until 9, we'll be at Panera's Bread over at Boca Park for coffee with the councilman. And then Tuesday, April 22nd, it's springtime, so once again, it's live music Tuesdays at the Angel Park Clubhouse patio. And so we will be over there at the clubhouse for the golf course on April 22nd, a Tuesday from 5:30 to 7:30. And at 7:30, Randy Wheeler will take the stage and make some music for us all. This weekend, up at the Summerlin Hospital Medical Center, there's a free women and children's health fair going on from 9 in the morning until noon. That will include more than 50 booths featuring health information, hospital tours, raffles, for the youngsters, gymboree, face painting, balloon creation, free height, weight, and vision screenings will be available for children as well. And if you'd like more information on that, call our office at 229-6405. That's all we got.
Thank you. And to close out here, Thursday, April 10th, I'll be joining our fabulous Same Downtown Dynamos in their effort to spruce up our city. So join us at Fremont Street's 3rd Street Stage 1:30 when we kick off an afternoon of community spirit and volunteerism. The next day on Friday, April 11th at 8 a.m., I will be joining an amazing team at Grant Sawyer Middle School for a rededication ceremony honoring the 20th anniversary of that school. An excellent education is the foundation for our future, and I salute educators at Grant Sawyer and throughout the Valley for dedication and commitment to our youth. Also on Friday, the 11th at 9 a.m., I will be joining once again the fantastic DJs in Las Vegas at Coles in Summerlin when we kick off our annual DJs for PJs drive. So please stop by with a pair of new pajamas for a child in need and be part of this extraordinary event that benefits our entire community. It is a lot of fun, and the DJs are fabulous. Our next City Council meeting will be held Wednesday, the 16th of April, 9 a.m. here in Council Chambers. So we look forward to seeing you, and thank you for following all that we're doing as we work together. Thank you. Meeting adjourned.